What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's going on, everybody? Happy 1 o'clock in the morning. If you're on the East Coast. I actually wanted to jump on a little earlier, but I wanted to watch the video that X&O dropped. Consider him an ally in the fight against people hating on defense in video game world and people who know what they're talking about. Good stuff, man. Looks like it was a video from a week ago though, because there was a couple things he had in there that was a little bit like he hadn't got a chance to really fully play the game. So trying to run it, man. I ain't trying to run it. I might run it. I might run an SP. I might run it, man. Anyway, I just want to put a little intro in here, then I'm going to kick off in like a couple minutes here. Let me turn this music down. I don't know if it's too loud on your end or not. But anyway, so I wanted to go through his video because, you know, he understands the game at a high level. He understands defense. He went through a lot of the new stuff in there. I didn't realize that in Palms that the leverage of number 2 was outside leverage. That's a really good pickup. There's a couple things in there that I think you need to cover some of the problems. And that's one of the things that it's kind of hard, even when you're coaching football, to go through all of the problems all at once. And I've learned from coaching players over time, it's actually not smart to just give everybody everything on one day. People might feel like they want that. Like, so if people go get the Nick Saban playbook, right? And they got all the answers on one day, I'm telling you, you're not going to learn it that way. You need to learn it over time. It takes years. It takes you losing in a game in a certain situation for you to really remember why you lost and why you should cover number 3 vertical in quarters. And I learned from some really good people that you should not give all the answers on one day. You might sound like the smartest man in the world, but then at the same time, you are giving information that people cannot absorb. It takes constant over and over and over repetition. So that's why on my channel, I'm trying to get on every day if I can. It doesn't matter what time it is. And what I'm going to start doing is these live streams, which go for like 2 to 3 hours. Yeah, I know they're long, but I'm going to leave them up there. I've been deleting them in the first couple of weeks just because the big pay companies out there, they be stealing from everybody. Huddle GG, they be stealing. They be taking ideas, you know what I'm saying? And I guess it's all free information, so why not? But, you know, other people have different ways of doing things. So anyway, I like to play games. I like to kind of mix it up. And also my channel is a lot different than everybody else's. So people who have their channels monetized, okay? So you can, if they're over 1,000 subscribers, you can get paid, right? For however many people watch your videos. And that's a great thing. I don't do that with my channel. The reason why is because I want to show copyright content. I'm going to say it out loud. I don't care. I want to show you guys real film. I want to play music that's real. I don't feel like sitting here just giving you videos with, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's boring. I like to just do random stuff sometimes. That's what my channel's about. So you're going to see NFL film up here. You're going to hear music that's real, you know? So if I did that on my channel and it was monetized, it would get banned, and anything that I would ever earn goes away. Okay, so that's why I have a Patreon for guys that want to support and get more. And then also the same thing I said about people who join the channel, other channels out there, like big pay websites who, like, you know, who leech off of the little people, right? They do this in all parts of life, right? This isn't just the internet, it's everywhere. Small businesses get sucked dry by the big corporations, right? I can't believe I'm talking like that because I never thought I would. But anyway, point is, I don't want them to just get the stuff for free. I don't want them to send one guy and just be like, hey, I got all the answers. Let's put it up and make everybody pay $10. You know, like, no. So you got to comb through a 3-hour film to get some nuggets. But I'm definitely going to leave from this point on, actually, because it's been, 2 weeks into the game. I'm going to leave all of my long live streams up there for anybody to watch in the future. Okay. And then the last thing is, you guys know where to find me. I'm going to be here. I don't care if there's 5 people in my room. You guys can come ask questions and we can get on board. We can draw stuff up. We can go through specific things. If I don't know the answer, I'll find out. A lot of times these live streams actually guide my, direction, because it's kind of hard to be a content creator and like come up with stuff on your own. Like, I need to know what you guys want. And the more times guys be like, yo, go over run fits. Yo, can you tell me how this works? Then I start leaning towards that. You know what I mean? I actually dropped my first stock playbook based off of what a guy wanted to see. He wanted to see the 3-2-6. So I spent time on that and I did research on it. So anyway, that's where we're at right now. But anyways, I like putting this in the beginning because I know people are going to watch this later. Maybe 100 people might watch it later. I like to let people know where I'm coming from. I love guys like X and O. I love guys like Deuce Close. These are guys that I vibe with, man. I want to, you know what I'm saying? Like, we study the game and we try to make it better. Everybody has their own way, a different approach. My approach is that I'm going to be here every day or every other day. And you guys know where to find me. You guys can ask questions. I'm like a freaking TA. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can find out and you can get a response. I'm not putting out like produced videos. I'm just going off the cuff right now. I'm just freestyling it. You know what I'm saying? On a Friday with a drink, just here. You feel me? I'm in these internet streets right now. So, all right, I'm off my box. I'll be back with some gameplay, and maybe I might play SP Dirty. What's good, Dirty? Man, I've been working on so many different things, so many different defenses. I don't even know where to start. But I think in this video, I am going to talk about some of the problems that we see in quarters coverage. And actually something I'm putting a document together right now on like all of the issues and all of the things that are wrong with each coverage, and putting it into an Excel sheet so I can remember it. Because when Madden drops, the very first thing I'm going to do is double check to see if the issues are the same and see what got fixed. That's the reason why I haven't put out an instructional video on quarters, even for my Patreon guys, because why put out a video on quarters about how NCAA plays when in about less than 2 weeks, I'm about to study another game with potentially different issues or different coding. I might as well get both of the games in there so that when I give you the video, it's like, boom, this is how Madden plays. Boom, this is how NCAA plays. Boom, the difference. If you play both of them, you need to know that. If you play one, you don't have to worry about that issue. So that's why I've been waiting instead of just giving you guys my full quarters breakdown against every formation, because that stuff takes time. Like a whole quarters breakdown against all the different formations is about 8 hours of video. I'm not doing that twice and doing 16 hours. I'm going to combine it into one. And I think you guys will like it better when it's like that anyway. All right. If you're awake, yeah. Oh man, come on. It's 2 hours. What are you? Only 11 o'clock. It's not even the third where you are right now. What's today's date? Today's date's the 2nd for you right now, buddy. Well, don't even worry about it, bro, because I want to just jump on and I want to work on this 3-2-6 defense and also just kind of get a feel for it, because I'm going to use it in another league and just get a feel for some 3-down. I think a lot of people like 3-down defenses, you know what I mean? But anyway, I'm here. Anybody got any questions, hit me up. I'll be here probably for the next hour or two, maybe 3, depending on how froggy I feel. I might stay up and watch the Olympics men's 100s at 4 a.m. So why not? All right, I'll be back in about 2 minutes. I'm going to go reload, go re-up real quick, and I'll be right back. Yo, SO, what's good? You get the you and a few others get the you guys are here every day stream. Appreciate it. Every time I show up, no matter if it's 1 o'clock in the afternoon, you guys try to watch. Appreciate it. 1 a.m. is always my perfect time, especially when I know the wife will have the kids in the morning and I don't got to worry about that joints. I can sleep in a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Funny thing is that I got a little time off next week, which would be interesting. Wife is taking the kids to family. I haven't had that ever. So I got like a week. I might be sitting here just playing NCAA long hours, doing 24-hour streams. I don't know. I'm gonna get nothing done, but I'm gonna be good. I'm gonna be better at NCAA next week. I'll tell you that. I better be, or I better stop playing. Anyway, there's a lot of little things I kind of want to get through today. I don't really have any real agenda. If you have any questions, anything you want to see, I kind of want to jump into some games, live games against the computer. Not against the computer, really. Even though the computer, I feel like, is my best opponent. I ain't gonna lie. Playing people online is just, you don't know what you're gonna get. It could be 30 minutes playing against some 4-year-old or against some guy who runs around with his quarterback every play. That's why I'm trying to wait for my league games to play the most, try to get some answers that way. But I think I might just want to give a little bit of an overview of what I've seen in quarters coverage and just some of the problems. I think people do want to watch the stream in the first hour, probably just get some answers to some problems and whatnot. And it kind of gives me a review of what's going on. So let's see. All right, so let me just pull up on my Excel sheet. I'm going to go through quarters coverage because it's probably, and it serves a purpose. I think it does have some merit in today's game if you use it in the right situations. Quarters is no more what it used to be. Quarters 2 years ago was like, hey, I can run quarters in every play and I can stop everything. And that's what a lot of coaches be using. What you got there? Y'all would be in NCAA heaven. I don't know if it's heaven or hell. But people do it in real life too. I can run quarters versus everything and it works. Well, things have changed. Okay, things have really changed. And like, for example, I talked about like some of the stuff I talk about on my Patreon is kind of similar to people who have, they have pay sites. They have, what do you call it? YouTubes where you have to be a member, right? And they give you a video and then they release it to the public a week or two later. And, you know, it comes out. So I do that too, kind of, sort of with these videos. I kind of give nuggets and you get them like right away. I'm going to give you one right here. If I can find my remote control. Okay, hold on 1 second. Because there's a lot of little things. So I'm going to put you guys on pause for 1 second. And there's a lot of little things in quarters that people need to know. And also it kind of relates to real life football. And from what I understand, as I study the college game more, some of the problems that when you play quarters and you play certain coverages, you need to understand who's in a bind and what's the problems. Okay, so I'll be right back in 1 second. What's up, Nola? Yeah, I saw you, man. I saw you make that comment. Thank you for doing that. I appreciate it. We'll go over that. That's the type of thing we can do right now. Run defense. The good thing about the 4-2-5 in general is that it's going to be max fit run fits. So you're going to have at least one of your safeties in every single run, even if it's spread. And it really depends on what your coverage setup is. So this is actually going to tie right into what I'm going to talk about right now in quarters coverage is going to tie exactly into what you're asking about run fits. Okay. So it's so funny you actually said that because we're going to talk about it. All right. Now, Madden, compared to real life run fits to Madden run fits, it's going to be a little different story. So we gotta kind of like work it out. But I'll get you right because you're going to watch a lot of my games that I play. I run 4-2-5 and I have the run fits and we can go over every situation that pops up. So we can jump into some games and just get some real life examples. But I'm going to give you like a little bit of an overview right now. I got to back out and get a better playbook real quick, but we're going to do that. All right. I'm just going to pull up my Excel sheet on the other computer real quick. Just some of my answers, some of my problems and answers on one sheet. Of course, yeah, man. Heisman mode is what they do. The Heisman mode is they're cheating, bro. They know exactly what defense you're in and what offense you're in. So when you call a play, they're calling the perfect play against it. It's the reason why I actually play against the computer. When the game first drops, I spend 2 weeks against the computer because the computer is like it's a dry snitch. It tells you all the problems that the game has. Like the computer is programmed to like attack the problems. I don't know why it's built like that. They're just EA is telling on themselves. So that's why I do it, because I found out more answers playing against the computer in a week than playing against any human. Right? I knew like I've put this on my page, and it's not like I don't think it's a secret. Like if you call Hail Mary, we learned it here. You call Hail Mary, there's a certain Hail Mary play you call. The defense is programmed to play 3-match. If you call, prevent. And the safeties on the outside, the deep safeties who are on the outside, there's 3 deep safeties. So the 2 outside guys come running down and take number 3 to the flat if you put number 3 on a flat route. It's crazy. So like little things like that, I would have never seen. So it's one of those things where you play the computer, like if you're in a league where you have to play the computer, let's call a play like inside zone and then just audible to a pass play. They're going to give you the best inside zone run stuffers. But then if you're trying to learn run fits, then you also learn what's the best run fit play against inside zone. So that's why I do that. I know it gets boring to see somebody play against a computer, but honestly, it's the best way to lab. It really is. All right. Let me just kind of grab a playbook real quick. Playbook in one hand, drink in the other. It's crazy, man. I've only played, like I literally, guys, in my league, that's to me, that's, if you follow my channel, I'll give you stuff against like how to stop some of the BS in the game. But I'm really getting you guys ready to play in simulation leagues. I'm not trying to get you guys ready to play in MUT. That's not my channel. There's lots of channels out there for that. Obviously, you can see where my channel's guided towards a different deal, right? And, but if you play in a league game, you're going to have problems that people are going to find and kind of what I call low-key cheese your ass up in a sim league. If they know like inside zone is OP, you know, to the left, they're going to run it. It sounds so simple, but it's true. So we got to have answers for that. You know what I mean? Come on, why are my controllers acting silly? I'm done. Okay, that's what's happening. My bad. On the wrong one. Okay. I'm just gonna pick some stock books here. I just want to make sure. Actually, this one I don't want to be stock. So defense has been so bad. I ain't gonna tell you. I'm not gonna lie. I really felt like I was talking to somebody the other day. I was about to say F it and run what I call my FU defense, my fuck you defense, yo. And just be on some like, I'm gonna blitz every play or I'm gonna play quarters. And I was just gonna go into games and just give up points or get interceptions for touchdowns and just say screw it. You know what I mean? Because the offense is so bad. It's kind of hard to like really feel like you can I'll come on a 4-2-5, even though Syracuse doesn't play that. Actually, let me get into Rutgers. But we can go through just some of the basic run fits. I did a whole stream on run fits, but I've learned some things actually in the past couple of days when it comes to run fits. I'm going to tell you something right now. And listen, like I told you guys, go watch Coach Vass videos. He's pretty good. I got some other people that I talked to that are really good. And for some reason, I can't spell right now. Let's go with Rutgers. It should be on the 4-2-5. All right. NFL coaches kind of have some, at least the guys that I work for, they might have an older way of playing run fits. You know, different way of doing things from how it was maybe 20 years ago. Some guys get stuck in that, you know? A lot of college guys and high school guys understand the newer stuff that are happening, some of the binds that you put into. But just from a standpoint of, hey, let's just take a look at like this play right here. Let's just get into a 4-2-5. Let's call quarters defense, right? And a lot of times the way I coach and talk to you guys is basically I go fast sometimes, but I will come back and say it again 5 times over, you know? But in today's current game, the Y off is the formation of choice, okay? And the reason why is because that Y off, or that sniffer, somebody said that the other day, and I was like, what's a sniffer? I call it something else, but that's what people are calling it. He can go back and become, where is this play at? He could become a running back. He could become a lead blocker. He can go out vertical. Years ago, he used to always just pretty much be a guy, like basically a second running back. I think I don't have the freaking play in here. I'm sorry, guys. Hold on. I'm trying to get the boot play, and I guess I thought I had it in this formation. But you know what? Yeah, this is exactly what I wanted, right? No, this is not. This is not the right playbook. That's what it is. All right, bear with me for a second. Let me just look at the concepts and look at boot plays. I'll come back and look at the questions. I see the screen moving. Are you serious? These are the only 2 boots they have? Freak out of here. All right, hold on one second here, guys. I thought I picked my playbook, and I guess I didn't, but let me just make sure I got the books that I want. It takes time to even get this part right. You know what? I'll do it in 2x. I think I have a 2x2 book here, right? Yeah, gun 2x2. I'll just do it there. Actually, 3x1. My fault. 3x1 is the problem. When I was a young coach, I used to have to try to learn stuff on the fly. Obviously, learn a new defense, you just get to a new school, and then you have to teach it to your players. So you're like just like a day into them. You know what I'm saying? And some of this newer stuff that I'm learning when it comes to some of the run fits, when it comes to the college game, it's kind of like that. I'm like a day ahead of you guys on some of this stuff, not by much. And some of you might even know more. So give you guys props, and you guys always share the information. So I definitely appreciate that too. Okay, we should be in a 4-2-5. All right. Sorry about all that. Let me see what you guys had to say real quick. Appreciate that. What's the 23 Viking strategy? They're either going to be dropping 876. Yep, that's true. Custom stems making it impossible to play D. That is true too. That is one of the dumbest things they put in the game. It better not be like this in Madden, I swear to God. If they do, it's just going to be like, we just here to just, like I said, on defense, we just here to be here. Okay, so let me come out in quarters coverage, right? Everybody's favorite. And this could apply to palms too, but really quarters, let's just talk about the grandfather, right? 3x1. Let's get into the Y off position. Where is it at? This is a nasty. I don't want that one. Yep. This should be it here. Okay. I should have it here. This is what bad thing about live TV, guys. So I apologize about this. Okay, what is going on? Maybe it's in this one then. Forget it. Just go to boots. Okay, I don't know why I don't have this thing pulled up right now. All right, let me see if I can just do it a different way. I'm gonna do it from my I don't know what book I was in that I was actually showed this to you guys. What I'm trying to find is a swap boot where the guy goes back underneath behind the line of scrimmage. Let me just take a look at this real quick. I don't know if this is gonna play out the same way. I don't think it will. No, it doesn't. Okay. My fault. What I'm trying to get is a swap boot with the Y going back, and what happens is in this game nobody covers the guy. If you guys don't know that, all right. And it has to do with the backside quarter flat defender. Really, I don't know what playbook it's in right now, so it's not in my installs. Not in that. I could probably get it from 3x2, but let me just go to some stock books real quick, and that probably just show up. I know I've seen this recently. I had to actually have a separate video on this that I did. I could show it to you guys, probably just show you the damn video, to be honest with you. If I can't find it, I'm just going to pull up the video and show you the video I put on Patreon. You guys can just see it, and then we can just talk about it, and then we can get in some run fits. Where the hell is this thing at? All right. Yeah, that's not going to be here. I don't know why. It's so hard to find. I guess that's a good thing. It's not readily available. Not every playbook has this play. All right. Wait, hold on. There we go. How come this didn't show up in the other thing? Oh, son of a bitch. I knew it was there. Okay. All of that just to get to it. All right. So cover 4 quarters. So just in the game, just in general, like what's going on here? Like, watch this. Okay. They played it right there. Interesting. I can show you the video and see if they got it right. If they fixed this problem. Okay. They might have fixed this problem. This was a problem before. The quarter flat defender weak was not taking 3 back. He was not paying attention to it. All right, they might have fixed it. So let me actually go back and say, I don't think it was in palms. I don't think that makes a difference. Let me just try it out real quick. If anybody's part of my Patreon, you guys saw that video, you probably would know, like, oh yeah, he did a video on that like 2 weeks ago about how that didn't cover it. So these are some things that I didn't get a chance to check it. Let me check it out again here. Okay. All right. Just so you guys don't think I'm crazy, let me go find that video and see if there was something different in there. Hold on 1 second here. And this is obviously the work that we all have to do to make sure things work in this game. All right. So this video here was just a tip video. And by the way, yo, is he still in here? Nola boy, I'm gonna hit you up. Do me a favor, bro. I promise you, you can do it while we on stream. You can call me a liar in front of anybody. I don't think you are part of the Patreon. Just join and I'll refund you the $5. So you're not gonna get paid. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're join and then I'll refund you. You can leave, you can join and then just quit, whatever. You get 1 month. Because I'm gonna send you the updated 425. What you actually got, if I'm not mistaken, was my initial early 425 thought process. I'm gonna actually put out a new one this week. I want to make sure that you get it. I don't want you to have to buy it. You know what I mean? So just, if you can do that, I'll send you a message, the same thing. Maybe you didn't hear this part of the video, okay? That's the type of thing I do, man. Because people, you know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to be shiesty. All right, hold on. Let me just pull up this video so you guys can see it. If he didn't hear that part, I will meet him later. I saw him make a comment and I was like, okay, he was one of the free members. So you can always be a free member and you can just see when the videos drop, but you can't actually watch them, but you can buy them individually now. They let you buy posts, which is pretty cool, I guess. All right, let me just go to it real quick. Why off? Here we go. I'm gonna pull this up for you guys in a second here. Let me just mute this music for a second. All right, so this is the video on my Patreon that I had on this problem. Let me just listen to it with you guys and see if it was something different that I missed. Maybe it was a different defense. This was like a 2-4-5 defense, but shouldn't be that much of a difference. Hold on. I'm gonna play it now. My bad. It's on mute. Let's do this again. What's going on, Coordinated Crew? Just want to give you guys a little something real quick. Recording this late last night. Taking a look at this real quick. When we get into our quarters defenses, and when I start playing robber, especially on first down, I think I'm going to put it into a third down category just for this. These plays where we get the sniffer or the Y off going back, it could be a run, it could be a boot, right? And this is the boot version. This is regular quarters coverage, and just watch how the backside quarter flat defender just leaves and covers this guy. You know what I mean? So just so you know, It's the reason why, and I was doing some research. I'm going to continue to obviously do research on real life football. A lot of teams in today's college game, high school game, it's part of the reason why this player back here is so important because he's kind of like you could do whatever you want. So if we can play palms to this side of the field, right, then we got these three over these three, we're good. All right. We know, sorry, these three, let me go back on that. I apologize. Technically, it's these four over these three, but we know that the nickel is taking number 2 and the safety's taking number 3, right? If they go vertical. When they go back, it just turns into quarters to that side. So we know that. But because we are in palms, this player here doesn't have to poach. So there's going to be a technique where we're actually going to man up, I think, this safety on number 3 strong anytime he's off the ball like this. Okay. And it's also going to be a big thing when they get into, well, 4x1 won't really matter, but we're going to have an answer for when the halfback is strong or near, whatever you want to call it. But just be ready for that. We might call palms. We might call. All right. Sorry about that. That video is, you can tell I was tired as hell. That was like after a long marathon of videos during training camp. I'm tired as hell. Shit. All right. Anyway, let me get back to the Madden field here. So we'll talk about some run gaps and why that's important and what that was all about. Let me get this music back on. It's too loud. All right. So I guess they fixed this. So that's a good thing. It was really it became a problem in quarters or palms, but the backside quarter flat defender had an issue. So let's run the ball. Let's run like that option, please. Give me not counter, just give me zone. All right, we'll do the RPO play. That's fine. So if we're in quarters defense, right? You guys can know how to look at the run fits on PlayStation. R2, sorry, what is it? Yeah, what is it? R1, L1, yeah. R2, L2, and then press either circle or, my fault, wrong one. And then press either circle to find the run fits to the right, or press triangle, run fits to the left, okay? But you can see how there's 8 guys ready to fit this, okay? And usually that's the way it is in quarters coverage. Usually that they take whoever is the safety to the side of the wide receiver, this dude usually doesn't have a fit, okay? This is quarters coverage again. So this player here has a fit, okay? If it is a bubble, if 2 was to go out, he should have to come down and play the bubble. That's the reason why when you play quarters, it's the one defense that usually this guy will start running in when run comes to him. If you play palms, it's different. He'll be outside leverage. He should take 2 out, and then he could be the player to come down. But this game doesn't fit that well, all right? But let's talk about the interior gaps. There's always 2 open bubbles in a 4-down defense. That's why it's easy to see, right? So when it comes to the run fits, the open bubbles are those 2 open gaps. He has A gap, right? Run at him. He has B gap, okay? This is all interior runs, by the way. There's a whole different category when the ball goes wide outside, like a fast, like outside zone play. Then you just fit categories that fall into the category of, are you a force player, contained player, okay? And if you get an insertion block, like let's say a lead play, then you start talking about, am I a lever player? Am I a spill player? There's different words. And if you guys go on the internet, you can find out about that stuff. But in general, this guy can be an extra body in this run game, okay? He comes down. He technically doesn't have, let's see what they gave him actually. He really doesn't have a gap. You see how he's like going to they have him like going to the B gap? What it is that he's like the extra player. So if they were to run like a speed option or the quarterback was to keep the ball in a read option, he could be that extra hat, okay? So we have obviously 7 guys right now that play the run, and we have 6 blockers, potentially 7 blockers if they decide to have the quarterback keep the ball, all right? But the one thing that makes this play hard is that when this guy comes back and blocks, I'm going to show it on the replay. That's a really bad block right there. When the tight end comes back and blocks, all right, it's still inside zone. All he's doing is supposed to be kicking out the defensive end here, and he's not getting there because the game is stupid sometimes. But the most important thing is that this linebacker who has the B gap, okay, he's coming back downhill. He has to play the run, right? And a lot of times if the ball goes to the right now he's not really playing the run because there's an RPO. If you guys don't know, when you call RPO, sometimes the inside backers back up and play the pass first. But in general, though, he has to come down here and play the run. If this guy is falling back, and this is depending on how you teach your run fits, if this tight end runs this route correctly and it's a pass and goes over here and goes out the door, technically he's a what? He's a quarter flat defender. He has to take number 2 to the flat. Right now, number 2 is the running back. So if number 2 goes in this action, and the fullback comes over here, he becomes the new number 2, and he has to take him to the flat, and he also has a run gap. So he's in a bind. So he can't really play both. All right. So that's the reason why I said that this player here, if you play palms, he doesn't have any real pass responsibility strong side. So he can just basically watch the tight end. As soon as there's swap action, his eyes should go to the tight end and he can play the tight end man to man. So that's one of the things that people do. In today's game, people are also making sure that this player here, his run fit, like if you use the fallback technique, which is what a lot of people do, where if this guy, as soon as the tight end goes back like this, everybody falls back a gap. So this player here would actually fall back to over here. I need to actually draw this on the screen for it to make more sense. He's going to fall back to the outside player here because there's a new gap inserted. This linebacker over here would fall back as well. Then you can potentially cover the potential play action pass while still having the right run fits. The way Madden was playing it in that video I showed you, they weren't using any type of fallback technique, and this guy wasn't honoring a tight end to the flat. But now I can't even get a good run here, to be honest with you. But I can't get a good example of a good pass play. Do we have this as an audible? I guess it probably, there we go here. So you can understand the bind, right? I have to go play run, right? But then there's also a tight end going to the flat. So it's like an RPO. I can't really do both. So you need to grab another player that could potentially be free to help you out there. And that's why I was saying I wanted to potentially put this guy man on number 3. But you can't run quarters, technically. Well, you can if you actually are smart. You can actually still run quarters if you really wanted to. But that's another story for another day. All right, let me look at the questions, man. Anything going on? Still custom stems. All right. All right, let me see if I can actually get some real run plays. Let's run this play right here. And let me run palms. I don't know why the blocking is so bad. That tight end is just getting all types of confused here. He's not back blocking the way he is. He's like inserting back up. Maybe I need to do this with a better team. This is really ugly. If you watch the tight end right now, he's going back. Okay, so I don't know what's going on. All right, let me just kind of go over some of the fits. Now, quarters coverage is kind of a coverage that everybody loves because you can get 9 guys into the run fit. So we talked about this. I mean, kind of formation-wise, it's hard in this game to get the right formations unless I have the right book. It's so weird not to be able to start off with 2x2 with 2 tight ends in the core because everything starts with a slot receiver. But I guess that's football today, so I could do this real quick. Hold on one second. All right. You always start with quarters, then you go to palms, and then you start putting in your cover 2 variations, okay? That's how I do it. All right. So this is just a balance set, right? What is going on here? Is this supposed to be quarters? All right, these guys are screwed up. Just so you know, if you were to call quarters against ace personnel, your safety would be like this. He wouldn't be that tight. But if you call it against wing, he gets tucked in there, which is a problem in the game, okay? If we were to call just base quarters coverage, okay, this is probably not the best way to start there. Let's go actually to cover 3 real quick. You guys understand cover 3, single gap fits. So there's how many guys there on defense, right? There are 8 guys on defense, right? How many gaps are there to account for? I can't draw on the screen right now. You can't see my laptop thing right now, but there are 8 gaps, okay? There's 2 A gaps, 2 B gaps, 2 C gaps, 2 D gaps. So we have a person for every single gap. And everybody's assigned that way if we were to play cover 3. Everybody has a gap. And this is, again, these are inside runs, and the ball's run inside. I don't know why they have this player here. That's wrong. Probably because of the original stem. But this outside linebacker right here has the D gap. Okay? So this is what we call 8-man spacing, because this is how football started. They use this word. A lot of people now start using the word solo run fits, basically like are gapped out. just gapped out football. A lot of my teaching videos are based off of this. One back, one gap. So everybody has a gap, any type of inside run, okay? If the ball goes outside real fast, then it turns into a different type of spacing. You have to basically just fit the ball in a different way. You have a force player who pushes it back to your spill players, and you go from there, okay? A fill player, spill player, lever, spill lever type of stuff, okay? Actually, lever, spill lever is more of an insertion block. When we get to cover 4, now we have, go back to the original defense if I can. Now we include both guys, okay? So now we have an extra player. We have 9 guys technically against this formation, right? We have 2 wide receivers. We have 9 guys. So the run gaps are pretty much the same with the inside linebackers. What's changed is that these outside players, they're going to fit off of the guy that's in front of them, all right? So whatever happens to this blocker, if he stays outside and gets blocked to the outside, this player will come straight down and then fit where needed. He'll either fit C gap or D gap, okay? Same thing on this one, right? He's working downhill, reading the guy in front of him, C gap or D gap. Now, it does matter if balls run away or to him. You have to be a little bit more patient when the ball's away from you. You could be more of a cutback player and you look for an open gap. But in general, these guys are all involved in the fit. Let me just go back to now when we go into 2x2 with a slot receiver, one of those safeties is kind of out of the fit, all right? And because one of those nickels or AKA linebackers that was in the box is going to be part of the fit. So this is regular football that we get nowadays. A lot of people don't see it the same way, but it really is. So let's go to inside zone. Let's call quarters. Okay. So again, this safety here, right? Part of the fit. He understands that. Right now, technically, he is that D gap player. There's nobody. It's easy to see in the big nickel over G because in this defense, the defensive end is in what we call a 6-eye or inside leverage of the tight end, the 7 technique, okay? So he knows his gap. It's easy to see, right? And it's easy to understand because there's no removed receivers, okay? And the player to the side where there's a receiver removed or detached, he's technically not part of the fit anymore, okay? The safety or the nickel, right? He's still part of the fit. So that's why in nickel coverage, if you ever get like a bubble of 2, he'll start, not nickel coverage, in quarters coverage, he'll start moving in, and this player should go cover the bubble, okay, late, once it's thrown. But that's the player that's in a bind, okay? If technically in real life, if this guy's outside leverage and we're playing palms, then now he's not part of the fit, and he needs to be part of the fit, okay? He would have to come downhill on a run and potentially play off of this end player right here, okay? So just showing you that's how it should play. But in this game, it doesn't really work like that. But if you do call palms, if I'm not mistaken, he will stay with the bubble if 2 goes out. So you have to potentially know. And they pretty much coach this guy in the game to just come downhill. Doesn't matter. And I've coached that in real life. Like, instead of making the safeties know if they're part of the fit, you just coach them to come downhill. But it is important to know if you're not part of the fit because of the RPO game. And especially now the new slant RPO game. So if we're in quarters coverage and they run a slant of 1, right, he's going to come in on an RPO, play the run, right? And number 1 runs a slant. He needs to know that so he can go play the slant that comes down here of 1. So that's where we're at. But the run fits are all the same. And this is still considered maxed out fits, okay? Because now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 guys, okay? And against, how many gaps do we have to play against? It's not 8 anymore, it's 7. So we are okay. Actually, I'm sorry. We still count this guy. So we still actually have another guy. We have 8 versus 7. So we should be able to be fine. So any quarterback run, we should be able to fit it. And technically in the 4-4 in the quarters fits. It's a lot easier just to run through plays and see it play out to understand. But that's pretty much the evolution of it. 3x1 is going to be a little bit tougher. You put the Mike linebacker who has to potentially walk out in a bind. But that's where we're at. So honestly, the best thing to do is just to take a look at, like, let's get into 2x2 Y off, because that could be a little bit more difficult. And let's just go through, can I just do random runs actually? Let me do that. Let me just call random run plays if I can. I'm going to take a look at the menu here in a second, the chat, to see if there's anything going on. There's a random inside. Yeah, random runs. The good thing about, how do I do this? The good thing about the 4-2-5, it's kind of like the baby. It's a combination of the 4-3 and the 4-4. right? You kind of get the best of both worlds. You get the 4-3 fits, you get the 4-4 fits, really, kind of, sort of. But then you also have a skill player that's playing that Sam linebacker, who's like a strong safety type, who can play the run. All right, the original 4-2-5 player here is a safety, right? And he doesn't have to be fast. He just needs to be he needs to be able to stop the run. And when you play in the Gary Patterson system, you don't call palms back in the day. But the old system, you don't call palms. The new one, you do. All right. If you're going to call palms, you need to have more of a DB type. If you're going to call just regular quarters and some robber coverage and just cover 3, you can play with more bigger bodied linebacker type. All right. So let me just come out in quarters because that's the base coverage. If you're going to play the 4-2-5, you can play cover 3 stuff, but you're going to play more split high, split field safety coverage. All right, let me know if this is too much or I'm going in a weird direction or whatever, but I'm just going to go against the computer and just see what kind of runs they give me, and then we can just kind of talk about what happens. Of course, they give me 4-by-1 formation. So again, 4-by-1 is when you get 4 players on the right side of this quarterback. That's considered a 4-by-1. What that's going to do is mess up your coverage. It's going to turn this into a zone coverage defense, so that's a bad thing. But from a run gap standpoint, it shouldn't really be a problem. Let me just take a look at this. What do they have here? So again, these players are involved in the run, right? The safety that's technically that's walked out over number 2. It's not, but you're going to watch him still kind of walk downhill and still be there. So let's let the computer just run a couple plays and see what they do. I had 2 controllers, my fault. I'm going to run it anyway. Of course, they give us the good old counter play. That's a big play in football right now. Everybody loves the counter play, man. So let's take a look at that. I didn't want to get into that right from the beginning, but that's okay. So counter is part of the series. Anytime you get gap plays or you get pullers or you get insertions, as they call it, guys that are like pulling, you have to have a certain way to fit it, right? And that's pretty much what you got to talk about. Now, again, I haven't been a 4-2-5 expert, but we can talk about it. All right. And I'm not sure in the 4-2-5 if they're actually going to consider this lever spill lever players here right now. Well, let's just talk about it from the video game standpoint. You can see how in this run, the safety is coming down, right? So this linebacker here, he's going to play off the outside. He's basically what we call a lever player or just a force player, right? He's taking on this blocker and taking it with his outside arm free, making sure the ball cuts back. A very roundabout way, of course. He's going out, which is stupid, but whatever. Okay. This double team right here is working up to, and then this other player, I'm sorry, I didn't talk about it. This first guard right here is kicking out. The second one is pulling for the linebacker. All right, that's counter. Our linebacker here is technically still a spill player. So if he takes on a block, he could be smart about this, but he does have to work inside out. All right. And then our safety, who's part of this run fit here, should fit up in there and make this play because there's nothing else. Like I said, he's coming down and reading what's in front of him. If everything is basically outside right now, then he's going to fit inside. So basically what I'm trying to say is that if all the blockers in front of him are keeping that outside arm free and nobody gets reached and the ball's not bouncing, then he's just going to come downhill and fit inside. Let me look at this backside guy. I'm not 100% sure how you would teach this linebacker here. You should work over the top of his face, okay? Because if you work over the top of his face, you kind of keep your gap. All the gaps are moving over. And if for some reason he was to take on a blocker, he can be a spill player or a blocker, okay? But if he's ever taking on an offensive lineman, he should always just work to the outside and try to protect his, the outside leverage of him. He shouldn't try to work underneath them. Some great linebackers would see this open gap right here and try to run through and make a tackle, but that's a very risky thing. So if you're ever taking on a lineman, you should always just work to scrape over the top of him. You shouldn't try to work underneath them. But if this puller, the second puller, the guy that's wrapping up, and let's say he did wrap up for whatever reason, let's say this guy really was wide and he just wrapped up to take on the linebacker that's getting blocked by 72, he should take it on with his inside shoulder and be a spiller because he has another guy that's coming downhill and he would push the play out there. The good thing about this defense is that you always should have an extra hat to the ball. That's the great thing about it. because you're going to outnumber the offense no matter what. So that's the good thing about playing quarters, and that's the good thing about playing for any type of 4-4-4, 4-2-5, 4-3 defense where both of your safeties, or at least one of your safeties, are involved. Yeah, inside zone and counter is the 2-game run combo. You're right. A lot of offenses were baits like that back in the day. I mean, they still are, I guess, but it also has to do with just inside zone's not that great this year because the nickels aren't blocking. That's another thing to think about. So this is always a hard formation. The snug set, it's always a formation that it's hard for this is where, if I could have showed you the formation and the fit, maybe I'll tell you the fits before it happens, but you have to decide which one of these safeties are, technically a lot of teams check to like zone quarters, zone it side on both sides. So the safeties are kind of slower to fit the run. So you're in a little bit of trouble here, okay? But they're running over here to the nickel side, and they don't block the nickel for whatever reason in this game. That's why if you ever really want to run the ball, run away from the nickel, because the nickel, for some reason, doesn't get blocked. Both these receivers are just running down the field. I guess they're supposed to be blocking. So this is just a very weird situation. This nickel, does he need to be inside leverage? Probably not. He should probably be outside it too. But he's your D-gap player. This is technically an outside zone play. Okay, so again, outside zone now turns into who's the force defender. So the nickel's the force defender. If anybody blocked him, he should have stayed outside leverage. Okay. So when you go to outside perimeter runs, you usually have, in this defense, you're always going to have a force player, okay? And then you can have what we call like a fill player or an alley player, some people call it. Usually there's two of them, and then there's a cutback player, okay? Your cutback player technically would be this guy, this safety coming down the backside looking for any extreme cutbacks or anything like that. This isn't the D-line, this is just the second level. So think of it like a 4-4 defense in a sense. The outside linebacker or the outside player should be basically the force player. But you also sometimes have that extra safety. So that's where you get that 9-man fit depending on your passing scheme. Let's see what happens here. This is some really weird run formations. I apologize, guys. All right, so here in this play, they're actually saying, oh, they actually are giving me two different run fits. Okay. So this is the run fit when the ball goes to the left. Okay, so ball going to, and this is where I need to look at a lot of college teams. They will tell a certain safety, you are part of the run fit, you're not, depending on where the back is. So that could be part of it too. And I don't know if it has to do usually if the back is to your side or not. That's something I got to go find out. If any of you guys know, let me know. Because that's something I never done before, but I understand it because of the RPOs and stuff. If the run goes to the right, they're saying this is the run fit. The run goes to the left, they're saying that this is the run fit. Okay, so it could work exactly off of is the run coming to you or if it's not. It also depends on your coverage. So that's another thing. Let's just see what happens on this run here. Such a stupid run. If you're using somebody, you can use the middle linebackers and just fit your gaps on inside runs. Like I said, A, B, just know which one is yours. If you get a puller, make sure you know if you're going to be, spilling or forcing or levering or spilling. And then the last thing is if it's outside run, again, you just need to know this player here, these fill players should stay inside leverage of the ball carrier and be able to tackle them inside out. That's all coach board speak. I mean, just basically go make a tackle. You know what I'm saying? And if anybody tries to block you, work over the top. That's just the basic line. Can we get some different formations, computer? Jeez. I'm trying to give you guys random plays that keep giving me the same freaking play. Sorry about this. This is why when we make a video, if it's not produced with all the examples. Okay, here we go. Now we can, jeez. Okay, let's see how this one fits up in this weird formation. Why would they give me this? By the way, if you're playing this defense, you want to keep a single high shell, that's great and everything, but it's really hard for safeties to come down and fit and read what's going on when it's compressed formations. It's like you end up running into your own players a lot and it's just hard to see what's going on. Of course, they give me some stupid run like this. At least we get kind of an insertion situation. They don't block these guys. That's weird. I'm going to skip that one. That was just a really weird situation. All right, here goes a power play, okay? So this would be good to take a look at. All right, so this will be actually, why is it, I'm trying to figure out why they did this. Hold on. So they want him to be a cutback player. That's all they're saying. They're saying that if the run goes away from you, the safety on the opposite side is a cutback player. That's great and everything if there's no RPO action. Right now, this is run to the left. They're saying the right safety is a cutback player. Whatever. This is going to be an insertion block. The guard's going to pull. Okay. We're going to get a double team and then we're going to get a pull. So this is going to be the player who's probably going to end up. Actually, no, they're going to work up to him. We're going to go back. This is going to be the player the guard's going to probably get to. In this situation, he's going to be a lever player. If he ever gets an insertion block, he'll be a spill player. Otherwise, she's just going to be working. There's no A gap anymore. She's going to be working to the opposite open gap that's over here, inside out. Okay, and this player here is a D gap player. He'll come downhill when a run comes to him and just stay outside. If the ball goes inside, he'll fold back in. So you have an extra player in all these plays here. Let's see how this one looks. One back power could be blocked differently. It depends on how you want to handle with the tight end, if I'm not mistaken. Let me see here. They base blocked and they went back. Okay. So that's what I didn't know this was going to happen, but it's fine. The tight end supposed to single block this guy one-on-one. The tackle just went down and blocked that backer. And the guy that's pulling, all right, went for that front side backer, like I had said. I don't know why he's jumping way outside like that. It's kind of weird, but I get it because I guess there's the D gap that's available. Again, we're just trying to fit off of the new gaps that are there. So he's going to fit outside leverage. And this is why I said with the safety, you have to read what's going on in front of you if you want to use this guy. Don't just come running downhill and say, I got D gap. In this case, if you see a linebacker jump outside or a DN jump outside and if something happens, then you end up fitting back inside to the available gap. A lot of people call it read support. You're just reading in front of you, okay? You might have a gap that's like obvious, like I have a D gap, but eventually you're going to end up folding back to where you need to go. You make everybody right in that situation. All right, let me actually get some run plays that make sense instead of keep giving me stupid runs here. Let me know if you have any questions. Let me take a look over here. Can we run a game? What's going on, man? Guys just want to play a game? Nah, man, what you doing? Can we run a game real quick? What you want to do? What you want to look at? Somebody else had asked me that question earlier. I haven't looked at the 3-3-5 cover 4. I don't know if it's any better. I would say this. There's two different ways to play the 3-3-5, if I understand correctly. You could play with a 5-0-4-eye, or you can play with 2 4-eyes and a 0, like the tight front. A lot of people are going to the tight front. It seems like that's like the popular front to go to. So all that does is basically just take away the A. It kind of take away the inside guy is a 2-gapper, or he can lag back to the weak side A, but it pretty much eats up like 3 inside gaps and allows the linebackers to play like how they do in Madden. They kind of go slow. You know what I mean? Let me just check this bubble real quick because I'm a little concerned. This is quarters coverage. I'm pretty sure the nickel's going to come inside or not move. That's kind of one of the new things that they did there. Why? Because if you look at it on defense, right, with run at him, he's a force player technically, but even if run away, he's part of the run fits. So you have to understand, you call quarters, this is what you're going to get, right? You're going to get a better reaction. He's not jumping inside anymore, but that's that. Now, I would prefer if they played this in this defense in particular, let the nickel stay outside. Let him play not outside, but at least respect the bubble and let the safety come down. I don't know if I'm crazy. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but that's just what it is. In the game itself, because that's what we care about, this is how the game works. We got palms. We get the exact same play. You guys have probably seen this a million times already. But from a game standpoint, if we're trying to work on something, I'll play a game against somebody right now. But otherwise, I am not in the game plan mode right now. I'm just kind of in the testing mode. That's pretty much where I'm at. Let me just get back to this formation. Where's he at? All right, so this is Palm's defense, okay? You can tell the nickel's leverage is a little bit different here. It's not totally different. Doesn't look like it's that much. He still looks like he's inside here for some reason, which is fine. 2x2, that's kind of how he's going to line up. Let me just come out this. Yeah, he's still inside in 2x2. 3x1, he will play outside if he play palms. But in this case, he's going to go out and cover the bubble right now. So that's the reason why I kind of started with saying that palms is a little bit different. It plays 2x2 bubbles a lot better than it would if it wasn't. And I think this is what they talked about with just the way of the program. But you see how he's going out. He's not sitting there anymore. So that's just something to think about. X&O put in his video today. You can go check out his video. I suggest you take a look at it. But he had 3x1 answer was going to be palms as well. They play it better. Number 2 is going to, Nickel's going to read number 3. And if he goes out, he's going to take him. Giving up the glance. Yes, you're right. If you let that guy come down, you're in trouble. So the glance is the other problem that people are now having, right? So that's the thing. So you're gonna lose. You're gonna lose at some point here. Who has the chalk last, right? If you're running glances, though, what is number 2 doing, right? Because by the way, a lot of time the glances are coming out of what formation though? 3x1, right? They're not coming out of 2x2, are they? Because 2x2 is like more like a regular slant, if I'm not mistaken. Let's take a look at it, see if it's here. 2x2, when they run that slant flat pattern, I don't think it's here in this one. But the glance right here is at a 3x1. So this now goes back to the idea of, okay, what coverage are you playing? If you're going to play robber, right? I think naturally having this player, you know, if you're using him, we just talked about it. Let's say you wanted to have him be part of the run fit. But he's already standing at, in my opinion, you tell me if I'm wrong, he's standing right in the glance window. So and his reads just don't go to, you know. So if they're sitting here and he's just standing here, you're not throwing a glance. And then he can still come downhill and play the run. Also, if you play cover 3, a lot of people are playing cheat cover 3. So if you don't know what that is, you play match coverage, cheat cover 3. The safety plays in his quarters track over here to this side of the field. And he's sitting in this window again. And he's checking on the first 3 steps. Before he goes back to the middle of the field, he's checking for that glance in a sense and comes back. 2x2, that could be a little bit of a problem. But a lot of times the glance kind of happens to the side of the back. So if it was 2x2, whoever's the safety to the side of the back would have to check for that glance first. And if you're going to play, if you get somebody that's going to run a glance with a swing or a glance with a flat route, you should be able to play palms, and your corner and your safety should take care of those 2 routes. It's basically manning those guys up 2-on-2, banjo style. That's pretty much what you're doing. So it shouldn't be a problem. So you're talking about when the nickel goes out and the safety comes down. So that would be, yeah. I mean, again, if you are my safety user, I'm not gonna. Or even in the game, he's not gonna come running downhill to play B gap. He's an extra hand to the party, technically. Okay, I don't think he has to come downhill because still the A gap, B gap players are your linebackers. He's an extra hat. We're not having him play the B gap from far away. I'm trying to think. Technically, it's run away. We're not doing any overlap fits. We're not doing ball fits where the linebackers are going over to the next gap. It's still always going to be at least 8-man to 9-man spacing. We're always going to have an extra guy if you play it right. Eventually, you're going to end up having to man up players at some point on the field and play cover 0 to one side of the field. I'm not calling that the Gary Patterson tree, but that's just kind of like the common sense tree of playing this. All right, I'm going to jump into some games and just try to look at some stuff. Because I do want to take a look at the 3-2-6 defense. I think that's a good thing to take a look at. Just see how it fits up because there's a lot of weird run fits on there. I will be in game playing mode again, probably later on this week. But again, I need to have a game plan. I need to get my offense together. My offense is just in shambles right now. It's like all over the place. I'm thinking the best thing to do, just use it against, I'll jump into a game versus an actual opponent and just don't worry about what's happening on offense, guys. We're just going to watch on defense. And then I'll jump into just probably a computer game real quick, unless you guys have any more questions or whatever. You just need the depth. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, you just have to keep depth until you know where the ball goes. So yeah, line up at like 10 yards, not 10 yards, really 12 yards, 10 to 12 yards. And then just your keys, that's part of it too. So your keys, a lot of people will talk about just reading number 2. That's not good enough. You need to also read the offensive alignment if they're going out and they're run blocking. But honestly, the best way to do it is to go into practice mode and just run different plays and see how you react. Okay, so that would be the best thing. But yeah, just stay back. And that's part of the reason why I like the 3-3-5. Let me just try to jump into a game and I'm going to kind of show it to you. I don't know if it's going to be great, but I don't even know what team I'm going to work here. The 3-3-5 is pretty good. Who runs the 3-2-6 defense? Who runs that as a stock defense? Does anybody have that in the game? Because in order to play against somebody, I have to use that defense. Hold on one second. I wish they had a better list of what defenses, and I can just kind of like know what's going on. It's a little bit annoying. I'm just going to go. This is how I do it. I don't know how you guys know exactly what it is, but I'm not going through all those playbooks. I just do it like this. I'm going to look for like a 2-star defense. Somebody that runs the 3-2-6 defense. I don't think a lot of people do. That's the problem. Everybody's running other stuff. All right. Yeah, like nobody runs this as a base defense. That has to the playbook that I can use like online. God damn. Shit. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to find a 3-2-6 playbook. Oh boy, this is the reason why I might have to just play against the computer. Damn, I didn't realize there was no teams that actually run this thing as an actual base playbook. I suggested it for a couple of teams, but this is crazy. Like they put a playbook in there, you can't even use it in these stupid online games. They make you play these stupid online games. The road to whatever, but there's no 3-2-6 team. Everybody's running. Oh wait, I found one. ODU. Great. All right, that's good enough. That's fine. I don't care. ODU is the only one that I see so far. Let me see if there's one more. 1-star ODU. Yeah, I know. They're supposed to. And the funny thing is that Wisconsin was going to be one of the teams that I was actually going to... What conference is this? Sunbelt? I was actually going to use Wisconsin because of that 3-2-6. And Gary with Luke Fickell. And yeah, they got him at as a 3-3-5. But then I watched their spring game and these dudes are playing like 3-4. They're playing like if they had to pick a playbook in the spring game, they're running like the base 3-4 playbook, bro. They're not even doing anything special. And then they're using that 3-2-6 like on nickel on certain passing downs, third downs. So that's pretty much kind of like I'm going to use it versus spread teams. That's how I'm going to use it. So let's get my ass kicked with ODU against anybody. I don't even care. I'm going to go up against the best teams in the land and see what happens. Maybe I'm asking for him to get my ass kicked and I'm complaining later. All right, I'll go up against maybe somebody else. But let me just kind of get one tier. That'd be easy. Not one tier, sorry, 3 tiers. I should know the conference. It was Sunbelt, right? All right, ODU. What is the tiers? 3 tiers only? I'm just going to do anything because it's late at night. I don't care. I don't care if I get Alabama. So there's 2 different 3-2-6s. There's the one that's dollar, which is the one that I want to use. And then there's a 3-2-6 will that's part of the dime package, which is not dollar. Dollar allows you to like move your line more around and allows you to get into a tight front. You can squeeze your line inside. A lot of people have done that over the years. I'm not a big fan of that, but people do that type of stuff. And dollar is different than that. So yeah, I think they give you the dime version of that defense, which is not great. So let me just take this off. I want to hear the sounds of the game. It's going to come back up here in a second, guys. We're just flipping controllers here. All right, let's go. Come back up. All right, here we go. Michigan State, I'll take that. And this is actually this would be interesting. This is a pro style team. So I'm working a little bit of the playbook that I put out today. Just to kind of get a little feel for it, hopefully. This is just the stock 2-3-6 playbook. Offense, just on offense, guys, I'm just going to run a lot of RPOs. I like to see how other people react to them and what answers people have to this stuff right now, since I feel like it's one of the harder things to stop. Oh, we have some extra wide splits here. Looks like it's really wide here. I guess these are wides, huh? Kind of makes the RPO not a great play. It's okay. We just run the ball.
Picks up a useful 5-yard chunk out to the 30-yard line.
Offenses, when they run these RPOs, they just want to be comfortable. The quarterback wants to make the read very
Let me know if the music's too loud or whatever. Oh, this whole book is a wide playbook. Oh boy, I have no experience in this, guys. That's the one thing. This game is so deep and so crazy. I mean, there's a lot of different offenses here. He's going to sit there in a 4-1 and get his ass kicked. So this is where you don't want to be in a 4-1 defense. If somebody did this to me right now, this is exactly what I would want to run. Do 3-2-6. If he's not going to make any adjustments here, he's in trouble. All right. I don't know why we didn't stay on our block there. It was stupid. I didn't know this is their offensive book, guys. I apologize. If you have any tips for this, dollar matches up with the tight stack personnel. Yeah, it does. That's exactly it. The dollar, it gives you they put your, what do you call it? I actually don't really care here. I should have thrown the curl. It's just, I don't know how people play with these wide splits, man, because it's hard to get like leverage. It's hard to read exactly where guys are. I didn't know if that quarter flat defender was going to fall off late and become a curl defender. That's kind of hard. So anyway, I would never run play action here usually, guys, but whatever. We'll squeeze this in. Oh, that's the wrong button. I got lucky. I pressed that way too late. All right. So the one team that I can play with the 3-2-6 playbook online, I have to use this wide offense. This is crazy.
To the middle. He's got it. And they'll bring him down, but not before he picks up the first down.
Wow. Fun times here. This feels so cheesy.
Now you've got your answer. Wow.
The veer and shoot.
He'll come out throwing on first down.
Look at this.
Pulls it in. It's Williams.
I mean, I'm not a receiver. Oh, that was a fake. It was actually a fake vertical screen, and I just threw it to the side. All right, whatever. Let's just run some stick. Nah, shit. You're just going to give me the touchdown. That's fine. Thanks. Could be some stupid cover two crap. Oh, it doesn't matter. Oh, I thought I was right there. Is there a freaking goal line here? This freaking playbook is making my heart hurt. This is such a weird playbook, bro.
But he always seems to create an open space for his QB.
Really? One guy just decided to make a hell of a play there. He's not even he's in a bear front. Want some power.
They give him the rock again on 2nd and goal. They bring him down.
Sorry about this. The whole first quarter is all offense.
And with the stuff there, Jesse, on 2nd down, this little third.
Yeah, I know Coach McKee. Yeah, I've checked him out. He's a good dude. The quick breakdown to the veer and shoot. Now, I need to learn it from an defensive point of view. You know what I mean? I get it. This shit is crazy with these wide splits, though. It's wild. Wild out here in these streets.
Going right back to the well, and this time he finds water. Gets it into the end zone.
I had my mic on. I hope that guy wasn't listening to me talk shit to him. I talk shit about my offense. All right, so again, we're going to be out here. I don't know what he's going to do on offense. Let me pull up my play sheet real quick. Really, what I'm going to end up doing is a lot of Ripley's cover 3 match, of course, at a nickel mint, which I'm not a big proponent of it. I'm going to see how it works out. I'm going to mix in some sim pressures, some creepers, and some cover 6 as well. I didn't check my roster, so I don't know what's going on there, but we're going to work it out. Let's see what it gives us. Pro. So this is going to be a pro style team. Now, we do have a 3-4 ready to go against this set. Can I live in the mint front, which is really, to me, not designed for this? I would like to get into like the 3-3-5 mints. Oops, I called the wrong defense. But this is kind of no different to me than playing whatchamacallit. Let's ring with this. Different personnel. I guess I could put another guy in there, but I'm just gonna leave the corner in there. Let's just go. Where's it at? Let's go to the corners. Not a big fan of this, guys. I'm a big person to say you should be in the right personnel.
Leaves it with the running back.
I kind of messed that play up there. That was an insert block right there. So the linebackers react slow, but the reason the safety came down slow is because I freaking pressed the offense and it got screwed up. All right. We will use, we do have a regular one there. Let's just go to match. Shit, I don't even know where the plays are. That's part of the problem. I'll favorite them as we go. Backside corner.
The give to the back.
So in the video game world, people running outside to the side of the, or just in real life too, outside zone to the nickel side is a problem. That's part of the reason why in this defense you should send the nickel, if I'm not mistaken, sometimes. 13 personnel, you probably don't want to be in mid. So since this guy's giving me a pro style scheme, which is crazy for me to see, we're going to match it back with a pro style scheme ourselves.
Looking for space. It's Carter.
Of course, nobody stayed outside. It's always a problem with these defenses. That's why you saw me spread my linebackers. I would have to either press and spread at the same time. But if he wants to stay in that defense, I'm just going to give him a pro-style offense. Let me see what else we have. I'm going to save the odd. Obviously, we don't need it yet. The 3-3 high, I'll save it for RPO teams right now. That's kind of my plan. I'm just going to come out in something simple. Cover 1 is the worst this year. You guys probably know that.
Leaves it with the back. Not a whole lot of room there.
I should probably stay 3-3 over. I should have stayed. I moved the nose tackle to a shade, which made that B gap really big. That's why it was hard for me to play it. But if you saw that there was also the tight end that came back and was the extra blocker. You would like in real life for your guys to fall back with that, but they're not going to do that in this game. That's not even a thing. So don't even think about it.
After the 3-yard pickup, they come
all right, I'm sending this sim pressure here. If I can get to my nickel in time, it'd be nice. Can I get over there? Of course not.
Surprise him with the pass. He'll try to do it himself.
It was R3 to get that guy going. I was trying to get onto my nickel.
Exactly what you're looking for.
That's the one thing in general. I think that offense, that defense, because the sim pressure made him run out. They do have it when you call that the outside guys are supposed to contain. I gotta look at the replay on that. Let's take a look at the replay if I can real quick. I don't think the guys are hitting their gaps the way they're supposed to, but they are aligned inside out of 4 eyes, so it's going to be really hard for them to... Can we get a play up here, guys? All right, I guess they don't want to give me the play. Thanks, computer. Appreciate you. Let's go 3 match.
They have just bloodied their nose on this drive, all on the ground. It's 1st and 10. They've marched to the red zone, and here they go. It's complete to the right. And the defense settled in to stop that one for a short gain.
It depends on which one you go to. So there's different mints. If you call the 3-3-5 mint, it gives you a safety at the star. If you call the nickel mint, it gives you a nickel. Number 7 for me. So I would have to change in, put a safety if I want to make it bigger. And they have more plays in the other mint setup too. So
they move the tight end all over. Looking for a man. It's Childs. On the run, still looking. He'll throw it.
Oh, I pressed the button to pick it off, man. I sent that outside guy and I tried to pick that play, and of course they didn't let me pick it off. This is the reason why playing games like this, you're just learning how to stop people from scrambling and running around. This is why it's a waste of time sometimes. I just played 3 there, guys, just against that play. I sent that guy to come freaking get him. And I pressed triangle to make a pick, and of course my linebacker did nothing. So I didn't have great leverage on him, but it's all good.
Getting set for the point after.
Not great against trips unless you're bringing some sort of pressure. I'm just trying to get myself to play the... I'm not going to make mint just non-trips defense. That's the one thing that I feel like a lot of people do. But I agree. You need to know the weaknesses of it. And right now, like I said, I'm not game planning. I'm not out here like, hey, versus trips, I'm going to, send more star pressure off the edge or whatever, or strong safety pressure, whatever it is. I'm just kind of looking at the weaknesses in general and just looking at the things and learning it on the fly too. But I definitely don't have a game plan right now. This offense. Let me run a little bit of this levels offense versus this. Look at this freaking spread out formation. It's crazy.
Yeah, and how about
This is
that
nuts.
quarterback? You gave him the ball, and he delivered the goods. Great job taking apart the defense, Jesse, on that last drive.
Oh, and he ruins the big gainer with a fumble. Oh, looks
That's
as if the
horrible.
defense got it.
Well, it's a nice job by him making the catch, but guys, you got to secure the ball and put it away. The play's not over, and give the defender credit for knocking it loose, and the defense jumps on it.
If he goes spread, I'm gonna try some of the 3-2. Let me get ready for it. I like to put the cornerbacks in there just because I have some extra things that I can do. I can put those guys into flat positions. Where are we at? To flat corners. All right, of course, this guy's coming on some other shit.
First down for the offense.
This is not what I want to be in right now. I don't know how I still got caught in this thing.
Movement here from the tight end. Trying to hit the sideline on the right. He's dropped behind.
Fast flow play, I knew I can go. Pick the backside backer and just freaking filled inside out.
They got to play in space more, cover fast guys out on the perimeter. But how about this linebacker coming downhill, making a physical?
This wing set's going to turn automatically. This is going to turn the match off on the right hand side. So I'm just going to go with the hard flat underneath. Just play hard flat.
Keeping it on the ground with the running
4-eye did a great job there against the stretch.
behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of 3.
All right, this is a good time to use now the 3-3-5 high. I don't like how the line. I wish this guy here could be a freaking safety. Can it be? I just saw a safety. Nope, it can't be. This is really bad. That just sucks. He's coming out in single back deuce, of course. What a douche to do that. I'm going to come out with this and play some quarters. Let's just play quarters.
And the running game has gone
I'm going
in
to press the outside, which I know is crazy. Don't get mad at me if I get beat deep.
forward.
I became 4x1, of course.
Trying play action. That pass not close as he got drilled trying to deliver it, and it'll bring up.
I wasn't supposed to do that with the nickel. I just went back and played deep.
This offense just has to do a better job.
Single back deuce. I hate guys that play like this. It just irks the hell out of me. You know what I mean? I don't know how you guys feel about this, but it just irks the hell out of me. It's 3rd and long, and they're going to come out and freaking 2 tight ends, go play action. I'm going to go with play the pass. I know I got the running back. He's probably not going to go anywhere. But we're going to try to do this crap again. I could get the backside dig as a problem. Look at this crap. See, this is why playing online is just a waste of time. I've sat here and played like 4 or 5 games sometimes in like 2 hours, and I come away with like learning one thing. Like one thing, you know what I'm saying? And then I got to waste time on offense too, which I don't want to do. My blitz is a good call. Against that formation, there's too many throws inside that he could throw the ball quick. You know what I'm saying? I just didn't want to give, like, he has 2 tight ends on the line of scrimmage against a hot blitz. I should be able to cover it, but he can also go like play action like he did there, right? Didn't he go play action? And try to like bomb me deep, and it's just 8-man per, max protection play action against hot blitz is not good either. They're basically just playing off cover 3 with just like, they can just throw individual routes on the outside all day. So anyway, but again, I want to play a guy that played more spread offense, but I picked the one person the whole time I've been playing this game for, what is it, almost a month? I picked the one guy that wants to run a pro style offense against me. Come on, tackle this dude. If I get any type of spread set, I will go with the 3-3-5 odd high. I just want to get it on film for a little bit. All right, cover 6. So our safety to the right is going to be our fitter. Okay, I'm going to tight front this real quick. He didn't do a good job outside. In general, you have to always stop the outside zone. It's always what I talk about. It's the reason why I'm a big wide 9 guy. Most people in this game, most kids, they're just going to run to the sideline every time they can. You know what I mean? Playing quarters is not reliable. Playing, that's because of the way the angle of the safety. Playing more of this solo fit, just gapped out fronts are a lot better. You could run to the right. I could have a little bit of a problem. Yep. But before I did a good job again. I can't block that guy. That's the one thing about playing odd or tight fronts in general. I'm not even doing anything with the O-line. This is horrible, man. I really want to run my goddamn defense, and this is what I'm going to go up against. This is the worst. This is the worst feeling in the world, man. I feel like I'm wasting my fucking time, yo. You got a fucking guy running outside zone every play.
He's run out of bounds, but a big play on that one, and it'll be a first down.
I'll tell you, the defense is going to have to do a much better job containing these outside run plays. They better be able to funnel the football.
You see, this is why this is like toxic, bro. It's fucking toxic right now.
Can kill you like you did on that outside run play there.
Okay, outside run defense, yes. I know if I call, 8-man spacing, cover 3, you're not going to be able to do well against that. If I call max fits, but the safety doesn't fit it right, and my outside linebacker gets ass kicked, it's not going to be good. So that's what we figured out today. So can we move on to something else, please? Mister? Let's see how Tampa 2 plays to it, okay? Let's see if these guys actually fit the run. I'll put the left corner into a hard flat. Let's see if they actually help out in the outside zone. That's what we're going to test out today, okay? Cool. Odd defense. We're playing Madden right now. We're not playing college football. We're playing pro football. This will happen too if you play somebody who wants to run freaking the veer on you, and not the spread veer, but the old school veer. The flex bone. Look at this, 3rd and 14. Hey, I'm gonna give you your whatchamacallit if I can find it in time. Here we go. Hot blitz. I'm gonna pass commit, and I'm gonna spread out a little bit. I'm just gonna let the computer rock out here. Here goes the stupid play action. Flood play again. You see how that's not a good defense versus that? You know what I mean? I guess if I brought the blitz the other side, it might have been better. You threw it early, I guess, but no, that's not a good defense versus that. I'm not saying you were telling me what defense it was, but this is just stupid, man. Wing flex. I mean, look at this again. He's just acting silly. Let me get this on film. Double 3 cloud.
They were unfazed by that earlier 4th down failure and will try for a second time in this one.
Play action.
Keeps looking downfield. He'll let one go down the right side.
This guy's the worst, man. Who the freaking am I playing, man? And I wish I could just no scoring him without running this silly ass offense, man. So you guys understand why I don't play league games like this unless I'm trying to work on something and I have like an hour to kill. I'd rather play the computer and get some good work in.
They make the stop after a gain of 3 to the 31.
The run game just has not been working for this offense all game long. You saw it on that.
Is there any particular play from this wide offense that you want to run, that you would like to run? If this is like a staple of the offense?
Gets it out quickly.
Another fumble.
Defense just cradling that fumble and securing it. And he's brought down, and this defense gets the ball back for its own.
These wide receivers are so
if he keeps coming out and just running stretch and two tight ends, I'm just gonna quit, bro. I don't even care like that.
A lot of times we're running to him too. We're focused on chasing.
All right, we can play Madden. Usually there's I don't like this pressure versus that look. We'll run this. It's fine.
The Spartans have it back on offense, hoping to play some good ball. And then a low-scoring game like this one, David, every possession is magnified.
And I think more than anything, it just gets...
Oh, look out! Keeps it himself and gets the
This
first.
is so bad, man.
They run him out of bounds after a gargantuan.
I haven't drank enough to enjoy this type of shit,
Such good awareness in the pocket. He does a good job.
Let me run, stick, and then just get out of there and run right away.
Downfield, but he sees an opening, and if he sees an opening, he's got the ability to go get it and get a first down.
Solid fundamentals on that tackle from this freshman.
They're strong and they're strong. Defensive tackles, they're strong. There's such big jokers in the middle where they just lock out those offensive linemen. And running backs, listen, they don't have much of a chance when you got that.
Touchdown, Spartans! And with that one, they jump on top here in the second half.
Oh my God. You see how I'm literally sitting here for half an hour not getting any work in when I wanted to work on, because my opponent, that's what defense is. You gotta sometimes play against their strengths and what they're doing, and I can't get into the fronts I want to work on. I want to work on 3-2-6. Can't do that when somebody's come out on 3 fucking tight ends every play, bro. It's not built for that. The defense is not made for that. If anybody thinks that's what it is, it's not. It's made for spread offense. You know what I mean? So, matter of fact, let me stop bitching on camera and let me just quit the game, bro. I don't quit games, but I'm not getting anything out of that. I'd rather go against the computer who runs a spread offense or run and shoot, veer and shoot, and actually play a game. You know what I mean? I'm trying to, I don't care about my record or anything like that. So let's just do that. Let's actually get some real work in so we can not waste time. A lot of stuff I do is for you guys, man, for people that are, you know, who support what we do here. It's just like, you know, I'm not here to just like win games and talk shit. That's just not, that's not what I'm about. You guys don't want to see that probably anyway. All right, let's go with, I guess it doesn't matter who I use now, computer wise. I'm going to use Texas Tech. That's what, the person that I started doing this was for. He wanted to use Texas Tech and run this defense. Okay, and then we go against Tennessee, right? They're one of the best teams that run this thing. They run the veer and shoot, I'm pretty sure, right? Everybody knows that. Let me make sure this is actually, I don't need to actually do that. Let me just do this. Against the computer, make sure this is set. All right, cool. All right, this would be a lot better. We don't need to go against a human. Just wide bunch. Like, wide bunch to me is like, what are you doing? I think I saw part of Coach McKee's video where he talked about that. Like, you just basically, I mean, you're reading numbers, right? Are they going to walk out and cover 3-on-3? Or are they going to 4-on-3? Or are they going to just go man up? I don't know. The one thing from a defensive point of view, aren't you losing all of your outside breaking routes? Like, if I had to study it real quick, if I could just somehow put all my guys inside leverage, I should be fine, right? I mean, I don't know. But now I get to actually just run certain defenses. I get to use a little bit of strategy. I can, you know, I can run mint. I can take away mint and not running versus 3-by-1 as much. You know what I mean? I could save it for 2-by-2. Y, yeah, 2-by-2 is obviously the Y is going to be weak. And obviously we could just play all of defense. So if you guys, you know, you're going to see my channel over the year. If you don't know about me, like, I'm going to be playing a lot of games going to be posted up here, a lot of league games. This first 2 months is like that training camp process. You know what I mean? All right, they're going to start me with wide slot right. So now here we go. So let's go odd. I'm going to use the 66 auto package. From how I understand it, that's what I'm calling it. We're going to play cover 3 cloud, 2-by-2. And we have some other things that we're going to do as well. I'm going to, even though these guys are 5 techniques, I'm going to slant them inside.
From the shotgun, the inside give.
That's the one thing I don't like. I don't know exactly how these guys are playing like a true mint version. Of course, now I get a team that goes no huddle. Jeez. If I'm like this, I don't need to actually. This is a little bit bastardized, I know, guys.
They'll go right back to the run.
I don't need to probably even do these line slants. I'm going to keep them wide and play them inside.
They'll try to power their way ahead. And he's brought down at the 40-yard
This is where
that'll be a first down.
this is the one part I got to get down here straight, because these guys are not 4 eyes. They're 5 techniques. I can try to slant them inside and try to get that look. But the good thing is I do feel good in the run game. I feel like it's pretty well contained here. The ball has to always bounce out to C, so that's good. There goes trips, so this could be a little bit of an issue here. Dude, I was moving. So I can't look at replays because they're going no huddle. See, this guard should not be getting up to me on the backside. Right, let me see if I can actually go with a little bit of a different style. I'm going to slant the front away, try to get this 4-eye over here. Even though we have an insert potential situation now. Oh, he went back. That was just a 1-back, 1-gap run right there. I'm going to go with this other, like, what is it called? Iowa State. A little bit version of it. I know this guy's trying to put the to the side of the back. I'm playing a 4-eye. Away from the back, I'm playing a 5. I know this guy's really wide. I just noticed their angles were screwed up there too.
Handoff from the shotgun. They're
Still
there to
getting
stop
reached
him
up
at the
on.
21 after a pickup of 2.
Is this fun? Is this fun to you
Already
guys?
in
This is
field goal
not fun.
range at the 21, but
This
third
is
and
so
short,
stupid.
They're still thinking touchdown. They'll try to bully their way.
Now, I
over
should
the
probably
first.
also bring another guy down at some point and blitz a guy off the side. I'm just going to see if I can survive this 3 yards in a cloud of dust modern day version. All right, now we have an insert blocker. That's going to be interesting. Now I got an extra guy here, though. The good thing is that the ball is going outside, right? And if overhangs can get involved,
He was able to get
obviously
away
it's hard
with one
versus
tackle,
this.
but plenty of
Maybe I'll not
coverage
blitz
on
here.
the way. Decent pickup on that play. Right back to the well. That play just never had a chance. They knock him down for a
I know
long
it stretches
time.
box numbers, but this front should be a front that makes it hard for them to actually run the ball. It makes everything go out to maybe these overhang players.
They're trying to slow that rush down with the draw. He's knocked down.
It's like, oh, you know what this is? It's like a modern day version of how people play Madden for years, where they just squeeze the front. You know, I've had some people in some leagues tell me that they don't want, like I run the 4-2, I mean, I run a wide 9 or a 4 down, just over front. They don't want me to play a 5-2-2-5. They don't want me to put the 2 or 5-1-1-5. They think that's unrealistic because that's video game talk. And I'm hearing guys in college are running two techniques, not even two techniques, basically over the guard, from stunning to overs and unders from the 4 down front. It's real life. Like it just try to muddy up the inside run gap so that the ball has to bounce out. Don't let people just go north and south. That's basically what I'm trying to do. All right, since I couldn't really get any checks in, the other defense to think about in this was actually playing some sort of 3 insert coverage or buzz coverage versus 3-by-1. We're not going to kind of get that right now. This might actually be this is going to be 2-by-1, but I can kind of maybe work it out here. So let me just see real quick. Where is it called? 3 buzz spy. We're not going to play match right now. I don't even care about the match part of this bad boy. He's coming from the weak side. That's all right. Not really what I wanted there.
The give to the running back
I was
from the
hoping to come down strong.
I like feeding my guy. I like getting my running back touches, feeding him the ball so he can break some of those big runs, but I'm also okay with these little ones.
I'm going to step up in there a little bit. Who cares? Actually, you know what? I know in the game, if you sit back here, they will not account for you in the run game. That's a very cheesy thing to do, but at the same time, it gives us a little bit of an advantage. We can look at this replay here. It's the first time I could look at a replay. Does anybody know any of these veer shoot teams that they actually not go no huddle? Is that like a oxymoron or something? Like veer and shoot always goes no huddle? I want to play against this stuff, but at the same time, I'm like, I can't get any replays in. Look at this guy. See, when you get stuff like this is the reason why it's so hard to break down this game. Like, there's no RPO action here, right? Even if there was, like, why is my inside freaking backer backing up on this freaking run play? It's like it's zone. It's the zone weak with a lead blocker strong. It's like split zone. I can't freaking stop the run if my guys are backing up, man. That's just horrible. It doesn't matter what I call. Man, oh man, I'm sorry if I sound like I'm bitching too much, but this is just infuriating, and it's hard to, this is why I said I'd rather just blitz the house right now at this point, because it just doesn't, they don't want people to play defense in this game. That's pretty much how it feels, you know what I mean? I'm going to cheat with I'm going to apex this guy a little bit.
Looking for room. It's Sampson. They bring him down.
Has anybody messed around with that? Just doing what I just did there, playing quarters. I'm going to try to okay, I'm on the other side now. If I just apex this right here at the line of scrimmage, you try to throw a screen or something, I'm going to pick it off.
Soften him up with a run. Now to throw.
I'm supposed to be quarters coverage. And there goes a glitch. We got to take a look at this. I'm a quarter flat defender here, guys. All right, was that the last call? Let me make sure. Oh, it was palms. Still, if it was palms, it doesn't matter. It was just still quarters to this side. Look at this. So the good old switch combination problems that always happen in every single year of this game. People run it just to freaking break it, I feel like. Okay, so we're playing quarters coverage. Most people know in this game and in real life, if there's a switch like that, then just stay in your zone, bro. You don't have to match one. We know it's a quick switch. We know the offense, right? Stay in your zone. So the corner should get this new number one, and then the safety should get the new number 2. Looks like the safety just said, I'm going to lock my guy, which is nothing wrong with that as long as the corner is locking number 1. Safety stayed on this guy the whole time. And then, you know what it is? It goes back to quarters coverage. All right, so here goes the nugget of the day, or one of the nuggets of the day. We understand that quarters coverage, the corners are not playing dig routes, which is just ridiculous. This is palms coverage too, but it turns into quarters of 2x2. So this is just a 15-yard end that this corner decided to zone off. And I think that's part of the reason why they have this nickel player. Anytime 2 is vertical and there's no threat of anything to the flat, they're trying to get this nickel player to drop back and rob the dig, which I don't understand that concept. I've never seen that concept. I don't think it's it's real life. But it's like we're trying to play almost like a version of, I don't even know, some type of man match coverage BS. It's crazy, man. That's what I found. The best way to stop the run is to blitz the linebackers' corners. I mean, yeah, because they don't fit the gaps. You're right. It was like that last year too in Madden, unfortunately. You know, I ran through myself, but a lot of times I had to blitz at least one guy. And usually it was the opposite linebacker, so at least we know we can fit a gap, correctly. All right. It's sad, man. So I'm trying to think, these 4 palms calls, at least one guy is coming, these kind of creepers.
And the balls
not the best defense overall, but again, I'm trying to bite down on this stuff right here by playing this Apex. Oh, another thing too is, okay, so this is away from the back. Hold up. So this is another problem. So quarters coverage or palms coverage away from the back. Anytime a receiver's getting, I thought this was stack. There's another receiver out there, right? Am I crazy? Oh, there's a tight end on this play? Never mind. I thought this was, never mind. Doesn't matter. Okay, he's just playing quarters. Remember, when you play palms, historically only plays palms to a detached number 2. It doesn't play it versus tight end. So we're just playing quarters over here. It doesn't really matter. This is an RPO play. The tight end's blocking, and this guy is just playing off. He sits down. He is still a mod corner, which that's just a hitch, so he's not going to play that. That's just the problem with the coverage, and that's why you might have to play a little bit more press.
And now on second down for this offense.
I'm still going to cheat this thing up. I did not get a chance to actually get my defensive line to pinch or slant inside.
The Vols have it with a 1st and 10.
Split zone, guaranteed. There it goes.
They're going to ride this running back. Going to work on second down, and the red zone is still some.
Well, I don't know if it doesn't break the coverage. The coverage is broken already because the corner is not playing any type of in-breaking route of 1. He basically just plays, in that play right there that I showed, he doesn't play the end cut at all in quarters. We can do this from spread sets, you know what I mean? It doesn't have to be a switch release. It's just the way the game is programmed in quarters. I think last year it didn't play that bad, right? The other problem is, does the nickel player see that number 2 is that a flat route and up? So should he run with number 2? The problem is the game just doesn't use that. Switch release should be treated like just basically verticals. It's just, they just exchange the verticals. Go to your new vertical. But the other thing is, that's why you have to know, if you're playing a team that's going to do a lot of that stuff, you got to potentially get out of playing quarters. You got to play zone quarters. You got to zone it yourself. That's what should happen in real life. The corner should play 1, safety should play 2. That's a zone it call. You got to do it by getting yourself out of quarters, match quarters. You can't sit in match quarters and complain that, oh, I'm getting beat by the same concept. Well, you shouldn't be in the same defense. That's part of it, you know what I mean? But in this game, it's just really bad. And I can't really use examples in this game because everything's going fast. So I apologize, guys. I might have to, and do I have any timeouts? I have 1 timeout left in this quarter. Yeah, it needs tuning. It's a simple tune though. That's the thing that's kind of like sad. Like this,
Looking downfield, it's Iamaleava.
that tuning is like since day one. Since the day one that we turned the film on, we knew the corners had some issues. They were not playing in breaking routes. That's like a simple thing. It's almost like they can't tune it. That's how I look at it at this point. This is a huge problem here. I think I called cover 6, so this is technically it's just the formation. It's 2x2, so this is quarters. Cover 6 turns to quarters to this side, but look at this, man. Like, how can anybody run this offense and feel good about themselves if they're going to feel like this is something that the defense is not accustomed to playing? You can't play match. If I played zone coverage, I'm pretty sure he would play it better. So let's stop talking about it. By the way, I guess I saw somewhere from a big-time site, didn't know it. I want to put it out here because it's a good tip. They gave it for free. I guess if you put these guys onto assignments, the outside players still match. I don't know if it's just cover 3. These guys still actually match in quarter. If it's cover 3, that's one thing. But let me just see how it works in palms. Usually back in the day when you put these guys into assignments like this, everybody plays zone. It's kind of hard to tell with this distorted offense, but whatever. Yeah, everybody's playing zone right there. So maybe it's only 3 match that works with. Because this, look at the right side. Everybody just ran out of there. That's just a true spot drop zone. I put this guy into, it's supposed to be a curl, right? But I put hook curls or curl defenders. Yeah, this is just zone. So I guess cover 3 is the one coverage where you can actually put your curl flats into something and it does something different. Let me just show it to you again. This is supposed to be common knowledge, I guess. I'm going to put my curl flats into 10. And I'm going to call some sort of cover 3 zone blitz, or not zone blitz, match coverage. So we just have regular match here. We do, don't we? We don't we? No, we don't. I'm creating it myself with my coverages. Let me just call, this is match, here we go. Match on safety blitz, this is creeper, whatever.
Come to the line at the 42, facing a 3rd and short.
So they don't run the ball.
The offense will have to use its
timeout, really?
Out of the half.
This is not a good defense. It's a good formation to do this against, but I'm going to do it anyway. I just want to see how if they play zone or do the outside, especially the corners. Do they play match? Hard to tell versus 4 verticals. Of course. You guys are the worst. Let me just see this outside player. Yeah, he's playing 15, but he's also playing that seam technique that you guys know about. So just because you put him at 15, he's not going to just go outside to the curl flat. He's actually going to work off of number 2, something that was in Madden last year, but wasn't in the beta. So I don't know how that's going to work, if that's going to be the same in a couple weeks. Yeah, they're all playing zone. It looks like even, again, the zone turn should tell me that we're playing zone across the board. So I'm not sure what that company was talking about. I think if you put that thing on, the whole defense turns to zone. I can also do play the stick, so I'm going to do that right here. Deep zones are poor in general. I played a game against Colorado. Travis Hunter ran a fade against a deep third. But I'll read the rest in a second. The deep third, playing 8 yards and so absolutely blew by him. No play action. Yeah. You know, the funny thing, everybody talks about how this game is fun and we want to, it's exciting. It's built off of bad defense. It's built off of defense that's just unsound and doesn't play correctly. And that's the reason why it's exciting. Because you're playing against a defense that's almost non-existent, Like the X&O video that he did, I'm pretty sure that was like an older video. But there's a lot of things, if he keeps on playing the game, he's going to be like, oh my God. For example, when you play cover 3 match versus 3x1, like technically right now, the backside corner is playing zone. Right now, this corner is going to drop back and just play zone. He's just going to fly out of there. There's no meg, there's no nothing. He just flew out of there right there. If you look at this play, I'll show you exactly what I mean. You have to man up the backside corner in cover 3 match. I've had so many times a guy's just running like a backside dig in 3x1 match, and he just doesn't cover him. Now, it all depends on what number 2 does. If number 2 goes to the flat, he turns back into a match defender. But if 2 stays in or blocks, he doesn't. Even though that one right there actually looked like he was actually, oops, not timing out. It actually did look like number 2 went to the flat in that touchdown. Take a look at this. But still, I mean, look, it's one of those things, I'm not even going to show the play. In Madden, it's always about making the right adjustments so your defense can be good. So if I call 3 match versus 3-by-1, the first adjustment I'm making is to put my corner in man-to-man. That's what I got to do in order to survive the down potentially. Now, we also know man is bad, so good luck. At least he'll be within a yard or two when he catches the ball, I guess, instead of being 800 yards away. You know what I mean? All right, this is not what I wanted either, because I'm not getting replays. I'm not able to analyze the defense the way I want to. So if I went against the computer, against, myself or a user, I wouldn't get the no huddle stuff all the time, in my leagues at least. But from an early standpoint, let me just jump on the practice field and look at a couple plays. It doesn't look good when it comes to the way the linebackers still play. They don't play that great. I'll just use tempo. I don't care right now. It's getting later and later. 3-2-6. And then, again, I'm just going to use my install book here. Actually, no, I got to switch it up real quick. My fault. What's been the best defensive scheme for you guys? Let's just put it out there. What's worked for you guys? Is it just unpredictable defense? Just doing all types of crazy stuff just to get in people's heads? Is that the direction we're going in? That's always the direction when you're a bad defense. You got to use smoke and mirrors and all types of crazy stuff. I should go against my offense, to be honest with you. It's exciting if you know nothing about defense. Deep zones are poor in general. Yeah, that was the Colorado statement. Madden 24 was we started off the year really bad in Madden 24. They kind of got back. It took a while. Remember, people were hating quarters. There was a lot of problems with quarters, and then the cover 3 also had the issue with the corners coming down. It was just, oh man. It's been a rough 2 years. I think we have to go back even 2 years ago when I first started doing videos like this, where it was way better. You know what I mean? It was just so much better. I don't believe in using a drop 8 defense, guys, just so you know. That's not my deal, but I'm trying to come up with an answer for a team that's going to come out and try to spread me out, which this is not a good example of that, but I'm just going to run random plays from here. All right. So if I was looking at this, I don't like these 5 techniques. That's a problem. And I don't like coming out and doing this crap. I hate when people do this stuff. You know what I mean? I'm not going to also be able to get what I really want when it comes to the D-line going where they are. I can't get the DNs going to the B gap. This is not realistic at all. That's the bad thing. If I go back to the original defense and I do this, it says they're going to the right spots, but are they really going to get there? Run fit wise, my 2 backers in this situation. Let's see, one guy doesn't have a fit for some reason. That's okay. I guess he doesn't have a gap. Technically, I guess that's what they're thinking. I'm not sure how they're thinking about that. All right. What's this play? Just a stupid pass play. Let's get a run play in there. Let's let the computer just run it. Tomorrow I play a game. I'm going to be using the 4-2-5 defense, or at least my 4-down playbook has a whole bunch of different 4-down defenses in it. So I probably won't get a chance to I do have another league where I'm going to run this style defense. I'm just not 100% sure. This is the other thing I'm thinking about here. How can I get this guy to actually... Hold on. I thought I figured this out the other day. I don't know for a fact, but I know that some teams will actually just have this guy be an A-gap player, strong. This guy can play the 4-eye, even though he's in a 3 technique here, but that's not it. I can't get to him to get there. And he could be a 5 technique away from the back. So that would kind of make it a lot harder for them to run, to work up those 2 players, the guard and the tackle, working up in the backside to my backer is going to be really, it's going to be tougher. I had a plan for this and I totally forgot what it was. Maybe it's not this defense. Hold on one second. It might be that this defense is just not good against the run. Let me see what quarters looks like with this guy. Come in real quick. He's a backside A-gap player. He's obviously blitzing through that gap. This is all types of screwed up. This is not going to be good. Three cloud is good against the run. The corner plays it well at 5 yards. Or do you press the corner? I think you need to press him, right, to make sure he does well. So when you play cloud, are you playing it like at 5 yards and just straight across, like just regular standard 1x5 jam from outside leverage, or are you doing it more press? Because I'm always scared about how those corners play against. I know against RPOs they kind of sometimes make good plays. I'm a little bit scared how they play this, how they usually play. Have you noticed people throwing RPOs into the field, into the boundary? Most of them are always going to be to the side of the back. That's pretty obvious. You could potentially play 3 cloud. Let me get a whole bunch of RPOs real quick. RPO alerts. Let's just see how this kind of works here. Random RPO alerts. So, what kind of RPO alert is this? What is this, a screen? Or he's going to come over? Okay. Anyway, if I put the cloud corner to the side of the back, let me see what you say. Okay, I can see that. You jam him? Okay. Well, by the way, you can't individually, unless you're playing 2-man or whatever, you can't individually jam a corner. I have to press the whole defense, which stinks. But this isn't bad from this look. Let me see how this play plays out here. I'm letting the computer handle it, so I might get sacked. I might hand the ball off every time, actually. I should probably throw the RPO. The defense might matter too now. 3-2-6 may not be the answer. All right, this is 4 strong, or 4x1, so we're going to play 3 cloud strong. I'm going to press everybody. Pretty sure this is an RPO to 3. Yep. Let's see how he does here. I'm gonna throw it. You know, obviously the personnel matters too, but that didn't look good. That looked like crap. So much so they want to do it again. I personally feel like you have to put the corner into a hard flat. Even if you play it from off, I think you're good, but definitely playing from press, I think you hard flat, you should be fine. This is the exact same play against hard flat. Okay, he was overly aggressive. Maybe he needs to play from 5 yards off. But that was better than the other example. I'm going to play cloud flat to this. I'm going to go hard flat again. By the way, when I run this defense, I'm putting the nickel into a seam flat. So I'm getting over here to the left side. I'm playing match defense, okay? So if you guys don't know, take the nickel, put him into a seam flat. This turns the left side of the defense into match. Right side of the defense is playing zone. All right. There's going to be an orbit motion here. This will be interesting. I don't know his freaking letter. There we go. I mean, it's just still JV, man. It's just not good. Side of the back, same play. Computer keeps picking the same one, I guess. Oh, this is the screenplay. All right, let's put this corner into, I'm just going to let him play cloud flat against the screen right in front of his face. Are we blocking this guy? We are blocking him. Let's see what happens. He backs up too much. I just feel like the cloud flat, this is my opinion, and watch it for me if you can. The cloud flat in general just plays no man's land. Sometimes he just sits there and does nothing, and it just pushes me off. He doesn't drop back. He doesn't go deep. He doesn't come up. He doesn't seem like he has rules like he's had in the past. It seems very just all over the place. So when that happens in football, I'd rather just make him aggressive or make him super soft. I don't want any in between, because at least I know how he's going to react, you know? All right, this defense is going to take a little bit of time to get used to, guys. I ain't going to lie. All right, I did say, I know I didn't do it. I did say I was going to actually just go through a checklist with you guys real quick. And let me just make sure, because I already found one that It's actually fixed. So hold on one second here. I'm going to pull up another screen here in a second. It's something that nobody has yet. This is going to be something that I'm working on. All right, so check this out. Hold on, let me get my screen back up here in a second. It's gonna go black for a second and come back here. All right. They are too soft, for real. Let me turn this down a little bit. So in general, I always like to put, this is not all the general pros and cons. I'm going to build this out a little bit more. Okay, but the way I always thought about the coverage is good versus in-breaking routes, quarters coverage, right? 10 to 15 should be one of those things that you should take care of most of your digs that kind of go in the middle of the field. A lot of people love throwing digs. Even though the safeties don't play downhill on digs, it should be a good deal. We talked about max run fits. You should have an extra guy to the party. Cons, that's basic stuff here. Outbreaking routes to the flats, shallows, mesh, shot passes with bad matchups. Coverage busts happen more frequently. So I'm going to give this out to guys on Patreon soon, guys. I'm going to kind of going through some of it. This is like the notes that I've taken over the past couple of days. You got to collect all the information instead of, to get it right. We talked about this. Box activates versus trips versus loose bunches. That's still a problem in the game. I'm pretty sure of it. I'm going to go through and just kind of real quick. Hold on one second here. Let me just pull up that Dynasty. I'm going to pull up my training practice real quick. And I think I could just use, you know what? I could just use a stock playbook. All right. So you guys know what loose bunches are. Those are those formations that are kind of like, they may not be here, but like one is way inside the numbers. They're not every bunch is the definition is everybody's 5 yards from each other. But when everybody is like about 6, 7, 8 yards from each other, it's kind of like a loose bunch, you know what I mean? And some of these formations will look like trips, but actually come out and play like a loose bunch, and it's just annoying as hell. I don't think this is the formation. There's certain playbooks that have it. I don't think it's in this one, though. A lot of times it happens from the tight end trips formations, but you guys have been on my channel. I talked about it at length. Where is this damn formation? Let me see if this is it right here. Sometimes you got to randomly check this stuff to see if the game has freaking fixed it, because they do that sometimes. And also what hash is on it makes a difference. There's always been issues sometimes with the ball being on one hash or the other. So let's go over here. So right now, no, this is not why. This is normal. This is fine. So they're going to play normal bunch. At least they should. You can see that the safety over there is waiting over number 2. Look at it on the replay. But there are plays in the game where number 1 is like basically aligned, and he's splitting the difference between the numbers and the hash. Number 2 is inside the hash, and the game would treat that like a bunch. And for whatever reason, not for whatever reason, this player, old school rules from 2023, this player would go and chase number 3 and leave number 2 wide open. So Madden 23 back in the day, that was how you beat box coverage, is you send 3 verticals of some sort. And number 2 was always uncovered. They fixed it last year with doing something, but it broke a lot of the stuff. But anyway, yeah, this is fine. This is not what we're looking at right now. That's fine. Oh, but number 2, the other problem here is that the vertical defender here. All right, so I talked about this, kind of loosely talked about that. this is going to be the one that is now fixed. At least I think so. I'll test it out if I can one more time. These are glitches, coverage issues. The quarter flat defenders drop too deep on vertical of 2. And then you notice that sometimes they will actually go back and actually play and try to get underneath number 2. So let me look at this replay. It's almost like they're sinking back. So if any type of route is coming, like in this play here, a tight end coming back, it's a problem. Look how deep this guy is dropping back. He's a quarter flat defender. He doesn't have to drop back that deep. Now, the game does have this happen sometimes where they do have matching. Oh, this is actually because this is a nub split. Never mind. We're getting a man cover. We're getting that cone over here where safety in the corner are working off the nub tight end. If this wasn't a nub tight end, it'd be a different story. So if this is regular 3x1, let me see if I can even walk the tight end. Even if I put the tight end on a vertical. All right. Put him on a vertical. Let's have the back just check through. I do believe that the game is better at letting the linebackers lock onto their guys, especially the 2 receiver hook players. And they kind of do follow. You see that linebacker trying to chase the back to the flat. But I've never played a defense where my nickel is basically sinking underneath number 2. Please tell me if that's something new. I've never seen this before. Right? And then he drops back that deep and then he tries to react late. So people are throwing like shallows all day or underneath routes all day, and it's there for you. People run 4 verticals and just check it down to the back if you're playing quarters. So that's one of the problems. If you're going to do that, I'd rather just play palms and just have everybody man up, and then everybody can just play ball. My 3 rec player can just come back on anything underneath. So if number 1 wants to run a dagger, as we talked about before, so let's run the same play and just run a deep dig. All right, it could be as deep as you want it to be. The corner is going to let it go. So he should be a mod corner, basically taking that guy over 10 yards. This is one of his freaking responsibilities. But for whatever reason, now you could say, people could say, oh, well, he's breaking at 8. So he's underneath. You can see how they speed cut this bad boy. But that's it. They give up the whole shot to it. Oh, you're talking about the corner still? Yeah, they give up a lot. I've seen the corner drop back and cover 2 pretty far. Let me put this freaking dagger and let's customize it to even deeper. First of all, this whole art is crazy that I have to like show bluff play and do all this stuff in order to get an actual play here. Look how deep this route is. This is like 15 yards down the field, maybe 18 yards. Butt naked. So, can they fix the corners? Nope, still there. Same problem happens too on the backside of like 3x1. So if I came out in 3x1 and the running back stays in the block, you're going to see this happen. Let me show you this real quick. And that's why this game is there's so many problems here. I just can't even like, I can't take it serious. I have to wait until Madden drops to see if it's going to be the same thing. And then we can start taking it serious. Let me, I don't know. This might be too quick. 3's coming in pretty quick here. Come on, I blocked the running back, right? I got to show it like that. Let me see what happens here. Okay, he played that okay there. I think it's a check release that might be the... Let me leave this alone. I'm going to put 2 on a drag. I'm going to leave my back in the block. I'm watching the quarter flat defender weak. When he doesn't have any work, he just sinks back and does stupid stuff. You know what I mean? Like he sinks back and try to help out in other areas when 2 stays in the block. Watch the quarter flat defender weak right here. You know, again, his assignment, quarter flat, he has 2 out. Some people will make him up and just play that guy, and some people will make that adjustment. But he sinks back, and he's not in any position to play this route. Worse than last year. I know he does this. I know this is not new, but it was worse than last year. By the way, take a look at the corner right here, who's playing quarters coverage. Like, where are you going, bro? Who are you covering? Anyway, it's just disappointing. All right. So, And then the run fit issues, like I had said, I feel like in quarters coverage, I think from what I've seen most of the time, you want your nickel to stay outside. Now they supposedly fixed it so that the nickel, if you have a flat defend, if your pass responsibility is flat, so seam flat, curl flat, quarter flat, right? They said that they fixed it so that he would do his pass responsibility first. That doesn't apply to cover 4 quarters. Okay, it doesn't. So if I ran an RPO or something like that, he's gonna shuffle inside. I call palms, even though it's a quarter flat, it could be the exact same formation. He's gonna then work outside and stay with it. So it's just a mess. But anyway, what do you guys think of this document, man? This is something that I'm putting together. I want the community to have it too. It's not even like I'm trying to just keep it for people. What I'm going to end up doing is taking this side over here and like having this is a hyperlink that brings you to a video that I did on it. So you can click on the actual hyperlink and get to the video. That's something that I'm working on. That's a special project. That's going to take a little time. But anyway, as I go through everything, this is quarters. This is cover 4 palms. And then below I have cover 3. Cover 2 match, cover 3 match, all that good stuff in there, man. But at the same time, it's hard to get bogged down on this game when a new game is dropping in a week and a half. And everything could be different because the beta did play different than this game. The beta did not have some of these issues that this game has. It feels like this game was built on a game that was built like in January, and the beta seems more up to date with the way that they play. Even the way they play mess is different. The way they play cover 3 mess rules is different. So, well, I hope it's not the same engine. I hope that the playbook isn't the same with Madden, because that's going to be infuriating with the whole playbook stuff. Yeah, man. All right, about to cut out of here. Wait, what's going on? Have you messed around with the bracket coverage at all? Yes. I know X and O talked about it. It's not good versus majority of the routes. That's the thing that he needs to dig deeper on. It's great versus slants. I think I said that on day 1 when I looked at it. It's the same thing in Madden. And that was my conclusion. I can bring up the video that I made on that. It's good versus certain routes. So if they're running slant routes, it's a good defense. If they're running anything outside or anything deep past 10 yards, it's horrible. If he runs a streak, it's horrible. I can't play a coverage where that's the case. Let me go find it real quick. Where is it at? There's different types of brackets, but I don't even know what defense is going to be in. There's a double 1. It's probably going to be in here, right? Yeah, I looked at it on day 1. I did a whole thing on it, double bracket. So double bracket versus 2x2 covers the slot receiver and the weak side number 1 receiver. 3x1 covers the slot receiver and the weak side, same thing, weak side number 1 receiver. So it's the same thing. Just trying to hit me right there. But if I just let's just run a corner out here, okay? Cool. And then also the thing is too, our corners are playing press, which, as you know, you can get your ass whooped. So you might want to use a shell for this. But in general, the safety comes running down way too far. This one's fine. That worked out to be okay. Let me just put number 2 on a vertical. I'm looking at the left side of the screen. Okay, so again, because we're playing press, why is the corner playing out inside leverage here? That makes no sense. We know the safeties are going to come running downhill, which is not cool. They're going to come downhill to start. It should never be your footwork when you do that. So we got to talk technique. We got our corners in press. Do I have to put them outside leverage? Why? Why would I have to do that if it's a double team 1-2? And I've seen this happen in certain situations. The safety comes down and runs right into the corner. They collide, and this guy's butt naked. I'm going to call a defense versus that. You're supposed to be doubling against all the routes that you want to get. All right, let's go with let's go with a 15-yard dig route, right? Did I get this right? Hold on. Sorry. What the hell's going on here? Sorry, guys. I don't know. There we go. Dig route, okay? So you can't play press. You guys see that, right? Because the corner's playing inside press leverage on any type of vertical route. Only one that we got was that corner route that he played it pretty good. So now we had two guys inside, and then they both lose leverage on this play. It's horrible. Like what? So what? I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like this is not it's not great. The best way to do it, and Deuce and X and O talked about it, was just to call cover one hole, call cover one, and you just put the guy man up the guys, right? So let me call even Robert press, right? I'll take the outside guy. The computer programs it better this way. This is the same thing as Madden. I take the safety and put him man on this guy, okay? I'll take the safety, put man on number 1 weak. So this is the exact same coverage. This is from a press position, so I don't know if it's going to play any different, but I think that the guys play it better. Let me go with the dig route again. I didn't mean to do that. Let's go with the dig route, please. I can't stand this thing. All right, here we go. You see how it plays it better? At least the corner played it better underneath. He played outside leverage. The safety just didn't do crap, which is another problem. But, you know, post and digs, you can't really double team in this game. But this is at least the corner played outside leverage, right? This is when you take a cover one coverage. X and O did a video on this. You guys can watch it. And you put a guy, put a safety in man-to-man coverage. You get a better bracket here. So if I want to play bracket, which I do kind of like do sometimes, first of all, I user it. So I do exactly what he did. And I've been doing this for a while, and I play my versions of Fangio defense, and I play ring and what's the other one? I forgot the other one right now. But anyway, I will man up this guy, right? Probably even back off the corner if I can, and nickel if I can. And I'll just user the inside part of this guy's route. You know what I mean? I know that's a corner route. And that's just better. And then if he works outside, I'll probably let him go and go help somewhere else. But anyway, so I don't like it. Long story short, I'm not calling that defense. I don't know I guess two-man is probably the best defense, right? I think two-man is the only defense that actually works pretty well. Everything else is suspect. Cover one is, my baby. It's just horrible. I'm going to look at it versus some different routes. This is just two-man. Can't lose to the inside. That's okay. It happens. This is a tough route the way the angle of this route. What's up with a certain website telling people to take a route and extend their stem like this? Look how dumb this is. Where is it at? To do stuff like that with that number one receiver on the right. So if you have any type of route that breaks in and it becomes a long ass slant, that's horrible, man. That's horrible that they have that in the game. Like who allowed that to be in the game? People are gonna take advantage of that. Now, let's go flanker drive versus two-man. Let me just see. I haven't really studied the man that much, but I think two-man is like the only one that might have some merit. Guys are at least on bodies. If you could probably play like a three-man rush, two-man coverage and try to take away some of those inside routes, you'd be okay. Cover zero is always OP as well. This is probably not a good route versus cover zero, but I mean, this is not a good, this guy's going to get open. A lot of times the coverage was better in cover zero than it was in Madden last year than regular man, but I don't think it's great here either. So sad, man. Sad that you can't play man-to-man, but college teams don't play a lot of man-to-man anyway, so that's a super slant. You're right, Wheeler. That is a super slant. I don't know. I mean, it's silly. It's actually better than a super slant. The guy doesn't even go 3 steps up and in. He just goes in right now. It's crazy. All right, I'm out of here, man. Thanks for hanging out. Information-wise, really, we've been talking about this game for so long. Defensively, it's going to be really tough to stop people. I'm trying to put together some schemes, but every scheme I put together is going to have some really bad holes in it. And And it takes a while to put together a defensive scheme, guys. You can't it just doesn't happen overnight. And in this game with like 55 different styles of offense, if I played a wing T team tomorrow, like what am I going to, you know what I'm saying? Like I got to have a whole different type of defense, and defense is just not good. So but we're going to try to make it better, and we're going to try to make sure we don't get trick plays on us that we are not aware of, okay? So I'm going to keep on working on it, especially until Madden drops, and trying to get the defense to play at least 21 points a game is my goal. Maybe I should up it to like 28, but it is what it is. No, zero's not good either, bro. Zero's not good. It used to be good last year. Obviously, Madden has been good for the past, 3 to 4 years. Zero's been great. That's why everybody calls cover zero and just crushes the hell out of people. But I'll be honest with you, it's garbage right now. It's just in this game, they purposely just nerfed defense and nerfed man coverage. And that's probably because not a lot of teams play Madden in the college, but still, it's just like, they could have made quarters a little bit stronger if that was the case. All right, man. I'll talk to y'all later. I'll be back tomorrow. I got a league game around, I think around 12:30 my time. I may not stream it live because it's very frustrating, but I definitely will put the results up there afterwards and maybe probably do like a post-game commentary. I'm going to run my 4-down defense and my indie offense. And then I have another league where I joined where I plan on running this 2-3-6 defense, but I'm a little scared. I'm already telling you that right now. I think it's not going to be that great. And drop 8 is not my baby. So we'll see how it goes. All right, guys. I'll talk to you later, man. Have a good one. Thanks for hanging out, man. Appreciate it, Wheeler. Appreciate everybody else who's still around. Anybody who watches the stream, like I said, I'm going to keep these streams up from now on. I'm not taking them down, so they'll be there. And if you guys ever just bored, you just want to hear some Madden talk in the background, it'll be there for you. And I'll still be putting out actual tip videos and playbook videos and talking about scheme and all that stuff on a daily basis, pretty much. All right. Talk to y'all later, man. If you have any questions, leave it in the comments below, and I'll try to answer it as soon as I can. Peace.